said Jenny.
And welcome to the Mix Showcase at E3. My name is Jenny. You may also know me as Kim Chica online, and I am so excited to be here getting ready to share with you just a sampling of the many games here at the Mix. Before we get into it, though, first I'd love to take a moment and thank our sponsors for having us here. It's an awesome event. If you are in the LA area, there is still time. You can still stop by. We're going until 11 p.m. tonight. But again, if you're not in the area, don't worry, we have got you. We're making sure that you can see 10 of the developers that are showing off games, as well as some of the gameplay and hopefully some inside behind-the-scenes indie dev secrets, on the way as well. So before we get any further, I'd like to first introduce our first developer here. His name is Keith. How are you doing, Keith?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Have you had a good E3 so far?
Oh man, it's so busy, but yeah. it's a good E3.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've attended?
No, I was here last year actually. First year was
nice.
Last year. So.
Awesome. So this is old hat for you. You know exactly what to do. You're a total pro.
Total pro.
Yeah. So what we have here today is a game that puts you in the place of a trusty mail carrier. You're going through rain, snow, sleet, lots of troubles, but there's something extra in this game that we're about to see the trailer for. Do you want to illuminate a little bit?
Yeah. So this is the Totally Reliable Delivery Service.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an open world sandbox physics-based game where you play a totally reliable driver.
Awesome.
Well,
before we get into the gameplay, can we show them the trailer really fast?
Oh, we just watched the trailer.
Oh,
Okay, so you just saw the trailer.
Oh, you did?
All right,
perfect. Awesome. So then forget what I just said. Let's jump into the gameplay, and I'm going to join you here. So forgive me if I mess up our deliveries.
Have you ever played a physics-based game yourself?
I have dabbled. I'm forgetting, what is it, Gang Beasts? I've played a little bit of Gang Beasts, so this feels kind of similar to it. Okay. Oh, okay. So I can see already.
Your left trigger is going to be your left hand. Your right trigger is your right hand. You can interact with other people and carry them around and jump around and control physics. So, like I said in this game, your goal is to deliver packages.
Okay.
Packages spawn if you follow me over here.
Where did you go?
Over here. Yeah. So in this game, your packages spawn in these little mail carriers.
Okay.
You'll find them around the map. There's going to be about 100 to 150 of them. They spawn out of there, and when you go up to it, they're going to tell you where to deliver them. So this is like your little tutorial zone. So left trigger, there you go.
All right. I'm so good at delivering the mail.
So you want to put it in that little carrier right there. So I'm going to help you. Here we go.
All right, which carrier?
We're gonna, right here. Oh, there we go. I got it.
Oh my gosh, that was the delivery. Okay,
yeah, right there. It's a little tutorial zone. But yeah, so the game features about 100 to 150 packages. And yeah, so you can play 4-player split screen or up to 4-player online. So play with your friends, and there's a whole bunch of crazy physics-based contraptions you can do. Jumping into cannons, launching yourself across the map. There's I think about 30 vehicles or so.
Oh my goodness!
And
okay,
the vehicles,
some options.
yeah, oh yeah, of course. And vehicles in the totally reliable delivery service go way too fast for their own good. So your physics end up being a little crazy.
Oh
so,
my gosh! So what are some of the what are one of your favorite items that we can encounter in the game, if not the demo? Wow.
So you can see there's little contraptions to keep you on your toes, such as like exploding manholes. One of my favorite things are on the beaches, you can find like a fish, and you can slap each other around with a fish, and the other player will just go flying.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, there's like beaches. So there's everything from golf carts to space shuttles to helicopters and everything in between. Oh, here we go.
Found some
there you
seagulls.
go.
Oh gosh, can I pick you up? Little
Nope.
friend? Oh,
no
darn.
little seagulls for you. But here's the fish. So you want to grab the fish.
Okay. Oh.
There you go.
Oh yeah, one arm it because I'm so strong.
So if you can manage to build up, oh god.
Oh geez.
If you can manage to grab some momentum and hit me with the fish, I'll actually
All
go
right,
flying
let me.
with it. I believe in you.
Oh,
You can
gosh.
use both hands to hit
Oh,
me
I
with
can
the
use
fish.
both.
Yeah. Right trigger is your right hand.
Just how do I hit you with it? I'm just dragging it.
Just dragging the fish along.
Here,
I'm gonna
wait.
help
I'll
you
let
with the
you.
fish.
Let you. All right. I'm gonna flex.
Oh man, I don't even have practice with this.
So feasibly, we could just forget. We could forget delivering mail the
I've
entire
knocked myself
time.
out with the fish.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. Learning the physics is
Oh dang.
is quite the adventure. And like I said, so you have tons of vehicles. So I'm running over here.
Okay.
There's a biplane over here. There's a little space shuttle right there.
It's like we can't even handle a fish. I don't know if a plane is a good idea.
Here we go. I'm gonna try
All right.
going over here. All
So
right.
is the entire game sandbox and kind of exploring and doing side missions just for fun, or is there a story that? Oh my gosh, there I go.
You can actually use the there you go. You can
Yeah.
fly around with that if you can manage
There
to
we
hold
go.
on. I believe in you.
Oh,
Both hands.
both hands.
Both hands.
Can't one-hand it. Oh jeez. This is disastrous.
And so here, come over here to my space shuttle.
All right, I might have.
Did you get yourself
I
stuck?
might have gotten stuck.
If you press start, there is a respawn at HQ.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
I'm glad
If
you
man-
built things like that
Yeah.
for me.
So I'm gonna try to launch the space shuttle. Here
Okay.
we go. And we're flying. Uh oh.
Wow.
Uh oh. Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh. So really, we're not very reliable post people, are we?
We're totally reliable. But you were asking before if there's a story. So in the 100 to 150 missions, there is actually a little story that'll keep you interested along your goal of delivering packages. We're going to leave the... Oh, God. Here we go.
Oh gosh. Geronimo.
So this is an alpha build. You won't be able to fall through mountains. But if you do manage to fall in water or break zones, it will respawn you at the closest HQ.
Okay.
But yeah, alpha build. You will see bugs in alpha builds. Yeah, so there is a slight little story that'll keep you involved throughout the whole thing. Or you can literally play it just open sandbox world and have a blast, just... You could
causing mayhem the whole
causing
time.
mayhem. You could do RP if you wanted to. Like, it's just crazy. But you'll notice, like, right there, that package is heavy, right? So
Right.
you'll either, being that it is up to 4-player multiplayer, you can lift things with friends. Or if boxes are too heavy, generally somewhere nearby there will be a forklift, so you can actually use it to lift packages up onto vehicles to get them to their location.
Or I could be again a bad mail person and see if I can just deliver another package.
The best part about it is when you're delivering packages, you'll run into situations where like you'll damage the package so bad that it'll break, and then you'll see the little item that the person was having delivered to their location. So like sometimes it'll be like, oh god,
Oh no!
it'll be like
maybe I'll just drive this truck around.
it'll be like a teddy bear or a Rubik's Cube, and it's super fun. And while you're completing deliveries, you'll get rated based off of the damage to the package.
Whoa! Oh, jeez.
how fast you delivered it, and then you'll get ranked.
Nice.
So you'll get like bronze, silver, gold for delivering packages. The more golds, actually, the more awards you get in general, the more unlocks you get. So you'll get customization for your character. So you'll be able to go through. This is alpha build, so there's very limited right now.
Fun.
But you'll be able to get a whole bunch of different things to unlock for your character,
Right.
like full pirate suits and stuff like that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, and then on top of it, you'll unlock vehicle unlocks. So you'll have your main HQ, which will have your vehicle shop, and you'll find like vehicle skins in the shop for your favorite vehicles and anything from there. So
fun.
there's always something to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty fun time.
This is great. So you mentioned this was an alpha build.
Alpha build, yes.
Is there any chance for people to experience this alpha build or a demo or anything of that maybe coming up soon?
So the alpha is coming very soon. It should be by the end of June.
Awesome. That's exciting.
We're just making sure it's as perfect as possible before we get it out there. We don't want anyone to struggle with the game, and we just want everyone to have a good time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
not get stuck like I did, too badly at least.
Exactly. So yeah, the alpha will run on Steam, hopefully by the end of this month, and yeah, you'll be able to play with your friends, local and online.
That's great. So where can people find you in the game if they wanted to get in on that?
Like finding another player, or finding like the how to play in the alpha.
How to play in the alpha.
And
if they wanted to follow the dev progress.
If you want to find out more information about Totally Reliable, you can go to totallyreliable.com, or you can also
Gets
you
me
can
every time.
sign up for the Total Reliable Alpha at totallyreliable.com.
Awesome.
And for any dev progress, you can follow the Totally Reliable Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It should be, so the acronym for the game is Totally Reliable Delivery Service, so it's TRDS. So internally we call it TURDS.
Nice. Very catchy.
So yeah, you can follow it. I think all of the social medias are TRDS game, so Turds game.
Nice.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the alpha. Go sign up now. Where the first codes for jumping into the alpha will be released to anyone who's already signed up. So, yeah.
So that's definitely an incentive to take action right now.
There you go. So go sign up, get into the alpha as soon as it launches, and have a blast with all your friends.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Is this a porta potty over here?
Well, you know.
Oh my goodness, taking turds for real.
Even delivery drivers have to poop sometimes.
That's very true. That's good. You included all those important details in the game. Awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
There's so much to do, though. I mean, like you'll find the most ridiculous vehicles. You'll have a blast. Follow the story and learn a little bit of like where these drivers are coming from and like why they're here delivering packages, and have a great time with your friends.
Wow. Yeah, because you can see the world really does go out there.
It's huge. So this alpha build is the unlocked version. So in the alpha, we're gonna have it split into zones.
Wow.
And week 1, you'll have specific deliveries to do, and week 2, you're going to see a lot of different stuff as well. So
That's exciting.
you'll have some new stuff unlocked, and it's going to be a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for our time together. I'm so happy you got to show us this game. I'm very excited to see where it goes, continuing in its development.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much
Keith.
for having us.
Yeah, of course. All right, we're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsors in just a second. And so thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see some more indie games, please continue to hang out. We've got 9 more games to showcase from the mix, and we'll see you in a second. But first, let's thank our sponsors for a minute. Welcome back, everyone. We are here at the Mix Showcase. My name is Jenny, and I am here with Roberto, getting ready to show you the next indie game of the evening. You just watched the trailer for Bloodstained, and we're going to get a gameplay experience here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how's your night going, first of all?
Great, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So could you tell us just in your own words, we saw this trailer, what is Bloodborne about?
Absolutely. So, Bloodstained.
Oh, sorry, Bloodstained.
No worries. I'm a big fan of Bloodborne, too.
Yeah.
So, Bloodstained set in the year 2077, and
Okay.
we just announced that Keanu Reeves as the... I'm sorry, I had to do that.
This sounds very familiar to me.
No, okay, so Bloodstained set in 18th century England. Basically, the TLDR is that a really huge, massive paranormal castle full of sort of like reality-defying areas and levels to explore is menacing all of humanity and just spewing forth demons.
Oh, no.
And you play as Miriam, at least one of the playable characters, and she is the main playable character. And she's basically using a curse that's turning her body into solid crystal to fight the demons and hopefully save the world and herself in the process.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So let's jump in and see kind of where we start. So while we're getting this demo started, is this at the very beginning of the game, or are we getting into perhaps something maybe in the middle of action or in the middle of the game?
So this is actually going to start off right at the beginning of the game.
Awesome.
And sorry, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties. And basically runs you through the first level of the game, and it's the release build because the game's actually coming out on Tuesday. We're almost there.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. The day of destiny is arriving.
Yes.
It's basically Gallia Minerva. It's the ship on which Miriam is traveling to go actually confront all the demons and reach her sort of destiny. But obviously things don't go as planned, and instead of a nice little voyage through the seas, you get interrupted. And
gosh darn it.
Yeah.
So we haven't made it to the castle yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So that's exciting. So it's nice we don't spend the entire game in the castle. There's different areas outside of it that we get to explore a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Great.
sorry, it looks like we're still... the castle itself is obviously the main attraction, but obviously there's going to be other areas both outside of it and sort of connected to it, which I can't really spoil exactly how, but one of those big areas is with the NPCs, where basically you're looking to upgrade your equipment, your shards, which is the sort of spell system in the game.
Okay.
You have different NPCs that give you quests. There's lots of sort of different things to explore there. So
awesome. Oh, good. And we're in.
Yeah, we're in now.
So what kind of enemies can we expect to encounter?
Oh, wow. So right now you're going to see some enemies that are visually upgraded from what you've seen in the past, because we just announced and just revealed sort of the big sort of graphical overhaul.
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
And it's in terms of actual enemy types, there's going to be everything from the more standard, zombie-looking kind of thing, to everything from, well, I guess I can say this. There's going to be things that don't look like enemies that all of a sudden turn into enemies.
No.
And, they're
Not
big,
just your standard
scary, and
mimics or anything like
no,
that?
not just the not that we have mimics, because we do not have mimics.
No mimics, okay. Whew. Well, I mean, that certainly looks like an enemy for sure.
Yeah. So what you see now is basically the shard system at play, kind of similar to Mega Man, where you absorb powers from enemies that you defeat. And it's based on an RNG system.
Okay.
So you can basically farm enemies, collect their shards, and actually upgrade them. And it's not just a straight stat boost. You're literally upgrading how they work. For example, the most basic thing is like you get a shard that throws a dagger, and then the max level is you throw like 20 daggers or something.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I love like the slight rocking on the screen, so you definitely get that ship feeling for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what kind of, what are some examples of sort of magic or attacks that you can absorb from those shards and from enemies?
Wow. So there's different categories. We have passive shards that'll do things, everything from making you run faster to attack faster We have familiar shards, which basically lets you summon familiars.
Oh, wow. That's a big one.
Yeah. And sorry, I was saying.
Yeah, definitely focus on beating this guy.
There's other shards also that let you do directional attacks with right analog, and you can see that sort of with your ability to aim.
Neat. Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going just because I only have a dagger right now, and I think people want to see some more stuff. And you get to obviously find a bunch of different equipments and gear, and most of the things actually change the way you look, and not only how you play the game.
Yeah. I always like that. I like being able to see sort of the effect, not just in my gameplay, but on the character with what I equip.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, nice. And it looks like you've got archives, so you'll be able to look up more information about each of the demons you encounter.
Absolutely. So it's been hotly anticipated, and a lot of people have wondered whether we have sort of an archive system, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but people are going to be able to dive into the lore and see everything that they're unlocking and experiencing. Very
cool. Ooh, okay, so I wonder what we'll find in there. So we've got bronze and halite. So is there like a crafting system then in addition to the shard system?
Absolutely. So not only is there crafting, basically you can craft your gear, you can find it in the world, you can buy it from the store, and then on top of standard crafting, what you would traditionally view as standard crafting, there's cooking. And the big thing about cooking is very similar to Breath of the Wild, which we definitely are not big fans of or got inspired by. You can cook different dishes, and they'll actually give you a permanent stat boost the first time you make a new dish. So it kind of encourages some experimentation. And
that's really neat.
Yeah. Oops.
So first time is a permanent stat boost, but then subsequent times maybe is more temporary effect?
Yeah, so first time is permanent stat boost, and then after that they sort of function to give you temporary stat boosts or health or mana or whatever may be the case.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so right now we're trying to find out kind of what's invaded our ship.
Basically, yeah, there's a bunch of nasty jellies, nastier than in real life. And the thing about the Crystal Curse in this game in Bloodstained is that it's not exactly just, like a endless portal of, enemies coming out of nowhere. The curse actually corrupts and changes the environment and everything around it. So things that, like I alluded to, things that normally you'd think would just be a normal cannon, for example, or whatever it may be, they actually turn into baddies for you to avoid and kill.
Oh, okay. And what I'm really liking, I see the map in the upper corner, and that's really nice. I like how it kind of shows you the blue areas that you've explored. So what does red mean?
Red is the save room, and there's actually a lot more functionality to the map. You can actually, in the final game, there will be a lot more. You'll be able to track specific locations. You'll be able to edit, how opaque and where the map is, and if it even shows up at all. So we're trying to kind of keep things classic and original to the past Igavania games, while also kind of innovating and letting people, get some of those creature comforts.
Yeah.
All right, now I've got some magic. These guys aren't so much of a problem.
Nice.
And speaking of magic, obviously all the sort of big enemies and bosses, big enemies, they will drop either special items or special shards that let you do some pretty crazy things, some pretty crazy spells. And I just made all the fans hate me by not picking that up.
A little part of me was like, wait, go back.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there he is peeking through the window.
Yeah, there's a little friend of ours. Someone's waiting to throw us a party.
Yeah, it looks like Mama Jelly's coming up.
Yeah. It's actually a super cool boss because it looks like a Mama Jelly, but it's not actually a Mama Jelly.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned Miriam's one of a couple or three playable characters.
Yes.
Can you illuminate any anything about the others yet?
Absolutely. So we actually just announced that Zangetsu, a super grumpy, angry, vengeful samurai demon hunter, is the second playable character.
Awesome.
And there's going to be a lot of surprises, especially regarding playable characters.
Yeah?
And we've worked very hard and long to make that happen, but I can't reveal it just yet.
Yeah,
so.
we don't want to ruin all of the surprises, for sure.
Yeah. I will say that people shouldn't go and just play the game right away on Tuesday. They should watch the launch trailer. That's all I'll say.
So we've got an insider scoop. Watch the launch trailer before. Have patience.
Absolutely.
Don't jump in immediately.
So this is Jeeble. He's the big
like,
baddie
who's
of the game. And I am going to soul-crushingly skip through all of it to get to the boss and take a hit like a idiot.
Oh, wow.
So this is Vepar. And you'll see this big head that's trying to nom me. And that's actually the real monster. The rest of this ladylike siren-looking thing is just the lure that the main body sort of uses to lure people to their deaths. And I am super underleveled and under-equipped, which is fantastic.
It looks like your HP's running under halfway.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have some potions, which, by the way, you can... yeah, I do not. Perfect. You can get a bunch of potions, craft them, different effects, different bonuses and buffs, of course. I'm just going to wail away and hope
Keep
for
our
the
fingers
best.
crossed, yeah.
I can guarantee you I know a bunch of people right now that are just screaming at the screen. What are you doing? You're supposed to go there and get the claymore and get this and get that. But,
I love the music in the background, though. It's
the music
so
is
beautiful.
amazing. So Michiru Yamane, the composer from Castlevania Symphony of the Night, she's returning to work on, she composed the score, so it's really...
So there's good music for sure in this
full
game.
orchestra, too, so it's like, I mean, it's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a much more marketing savvy way to say that, but...
It's what you want. It's good music. Get it now.
It's surprisingly difficult to be marketing savvy when you're trying not to die.
Yes, I was going to say, we'll forgive that for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a full orchestra, and we have a Noisy Croak and Ippo Yamade also contributing to the soundtrack, and it's crazy. And
no!
I will never live this moment down. Awesome.
It's immortalized too on stream.
Yeah,
so.
perfect. Wonderful.
Well, I guess that is kind of perfect timing because we're nearing the end of our time together. But before we stop, I'd love to talk about what platform people can find this on.
Absolutely.
Where can they find you on social media if they want to find out more about the game?
Absolutely. So it's coming out Tuesday, June 18th on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One.
Awesome.
And then June 25th on Nintendo Switch. And you can find us literally everywhere. We're on Discord. We talk to the fans all the time. Twitter, Facebook, the forums. I mean, just come find us and we'll...
You're on the internets all over.
We're on the internets.
Yes. That's awesome. Well, and it's great because I think the game was kickstarted a long time ago, so you've had a really good feedback and collaboration with the fans, and
absolutely,
just been very communicative.
It's been. I mean, I've worked. Not that I'm some grizzled veteran, but it's just the most amazing community I've ever seen. I mean, the passion level. I know everyone says this, but the passion levels are just off the charts. I mean,
that's great.
It's incredible.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, again, Tuesday, as you said, when it comes out. That's so exciting. Congratulations.
Yep.
And so we'll be sure to check that out on Tuesday when it releases.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we're going to be taking a short break. We want to thank our sponsors again for taking care of us at the Mix. Next up is Creature in the Well, so you do not want to step aside, maybe to grab a snack, but really quick. So stick around. We're going to be talking about Creature in the Well in just a second, and until then, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mix Showcase at E3. My name is Jenny, and we have been going through all of the indie games, or at least a few of the indie games that we wanted to show off to you on stream tonight. And with me, I have Adam, and we're about to play Creature in the Well. And I'm very excited because, as you saw in the trailer, I mean, this is a really unique game. Could you illuminate, as you're playing, could you illuminate some of what inspired you in this title?
Yeah, so do you want to talk about the gameplay or the art or anything in particular order?
All of it, technically. But I guess let's go with the gameplay because it matches up a couple of things that I think a lot of people love but wouldn't necessarily match up together.
Totally. So we've been calling Creature in the Well a pin brawler or a pinball-inspired hack-and-slash game.
Nice.
In the game, players go through an ancient weather facility, and while they're doing that, they're turning on like this giant machine room by room by knocking these energy orbs around, a la like pinball bumpers. So yeah, you can hear all like the juicy electric sound effects. And then as I do that, like I'm gaining a currency, which is in the top left there, and you literally use the currency to open doors in the game. And the dungeons, as if you're kind of like turning circuits back on for this old machine.
Interesting. So do we know why we want to turn these circuits back on, or what we're doing here?
Super good question. I'm so glad you asked. We don't at the beginning, but what we do know is that the creature meets us in that first room, and he tells us, like, we've cut it out of the demo because we wanted to make sure players could move through it, but in the story of the actual game, he sort of tells you, like, there were hundreds of you, and I thought I got rid of all of them. What are you still doing alive? And what are you still doing back here?
So this is not a friendly creature.
It is not a friendly creature in a well.
Well, and I think when you just started the demo, there was a hand that was kind of from the depths. That was him?
That was definitely him.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Yeah. So this is actually our hub world in the game.
Okay.
And for this demo build, we've got one of, like, a mini dungeon build. That's what these sort of monoliths, we call them, these pillars are coming out of the ground there. Eventually throughout the game there will be 8 of these, and they're 8 handcrafted dungeons. Each one of them represents like a different part of this giant machine that you're figuring out about as you go.
Wow.
And then down here's Roger.
Oh.
Here's my boy Roger.
Roger's
and one of our,
cute.
Yeah, you can ride his mop. Anyway, Roger doesn't actually know what the machine's about, but he's infatuated with it. It turns out that his great-great-great-grandfather
Oh my! Thank you for that. That fulfilled me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was good.
He built the machine, and he's got all these books, but he's never actually been inside because he says the creature doesn't want us going inside the machine.
Okay.
So Roger's like, "Oh, you're this engineer from the Bot C program. I've never seen one of those before," and he's really, really excited about it. And so you find out through Roger, through the creature, and through some of the other characters in town, like what the machine's actually for, and what its purpose was, and you're hoping to fulfill that purpose after hundreds of years of like dust and sand that's been caked on the machine.
Wow. Yeah, so let's go into the art style because I love the use of color is really nice. I love just like the cleanliness of the lines almost. Like it looks really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, so thank you, especially because that's my job.
Oh, hey.
The team is a 2-man dev team, and I'm on the art side, and my partner Bo is on the tech side.
Okay.
Obviously, because the team is so small, it's a lot of overlap on all that stuff. But my main visual inspiration for the game is a comic book creator named Mike Mignola.
Okay.
He's the guy who made Hellboy. If you know that, that is. Yeah, Hellboy's great. And so Mike Mignola draws these like really inky, dark, black, like ruins, and I felt like that was a really good match for a setting that took place inside of a mountain in the darkness of this ancient machine.
Wow.
And so the cleanliness was also really important because we get into, kind of a multi-ball hectic situation a lot in the game, and so making sure the player always knew what was going on and everything was really, really important to us.
I was going to say, are you able to track the ball? I guess you're able to track the balls a lot more easily because of the way that the art is done.
And so the rhythm of the game is with these 2 weapons that I kind of picked up really quickly in the beginning of the game. One of them catches the balls and charges them up. You'll see that they've changed color. That means that they're like full of energy, and so when I hit this bumper, it'll probably take care of it in one hit. But catching the balls and then shooting them with the other one, like you'll see that we have 2 weapons of the types, but there's going to be 16 of them throughout the game. And so even though there's balls bouncing all over the room, I can like grab them out of the air with this charge or catch weapon and then hit them into what I need to hit them in with the other one.
Okay.
That's really the core of the game. We struggled a lot with that because the balls are bouncing all over the place. The game felt winnable for a while on its own. Like a player could just sit here and shoot a bunch of these into the room and then wouldn't have to do anything.
Right.
So that charge and how bumpers were timed and all that stuff became a really big part of what makes the game challenging and interesting.
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about this right before we went live, but pinball is such a tactile game.
Oh,
I think
for sure.
the ability to make something that's digital feel that tactile, I think that's really neat how you captured that.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That took a long time to do. We had some feedback early on that people were like, well, I'm not sure this is going to make a whole game. You've got something that's kind of cool, but can you build a whole, significant journey with it? And it took us a long time to find that, but I really feel like we've come to something that is fun to play for hours and hours and hours.
That's awesome. What were some of the, you mentioned, Hellboy and sort of for the art inspiration, but what were some of the other inspirations that brought you to this sort of final, or I guess this iteration?
Yeah, sure. So weirdly enough, Rocket League was a really big one.
Oh,
and Rocket League was a big reference because you're not actually the ball, but you're spending a lot of time learning how to control the ball with this weird car, right?
Yes.
And so we're doing the same thing, but with swords. It's like the whole game is built around being able to control an external object and get really good at trick-shotting it and controlling it. Obviously, like the top-down adventure games that we loved playing as kids were huge inspirations. The Zelda games. People talk a lot about Hyperlight, talk a lot about Fury. Those weren't actually games we were looking at, but we'll take the comparison. They're brilliant titles. There's an indie game called Lethal League, which we looked at a lot. It's more of a combat-based game. It's 2D, but it involves, again, like hitting a ball at an opponent and that sort of thing.
So we're pulling. Secret path.
Yeah, so the secrets in the game are what we use to hide items and other things behind.
Very cool.
We also let players opt into them. So if they find the challenge too difficult, you can just move on in the dungeon. But these particular weapons give me like a reticle. So now you can see there's like a little red laser sight. So, yeah, very nice. I actually had people playing the game this week here at E3, and they were like, you know what I'd really love is a weapon where it would show me exactly where I was shooting. And I was like, funny you say that.
Yeah.
Because you're really
Get that challenge room.
And we put rooms in like this just because it's like Breakout. Breakout was another gameplay reference that we used a lot. And we're like, there's something really satisfying about sneaking a ball right in the back and getting it to bounce around.
All of them.
So we're like, why not just make a couple rooms that just are as satisfying or attempt to be as satisfying as that is?
That's really great. I love that you brought in sort of those homages to other games in that way.
Yeah. So this part is the boss fight. Yeah, it's totally ramped up. So the creature at the end of every dungeon pulls you down into the depths of the machine and then puts you against a bunch of challenge bumpers or challenges that he's made himself. So it's kind of like he's had hundreds of years to tinker with the things that you build and to set them against you. Yeah. So now you're up
This is elevated.
Yeah. The difficulty spike is pretty real. And each one of the boss fights has a number of tiers like this one. This one has 3. And we use it to kind of really give you a challenge at the end of each of the dungeons.
Yeah. So are you able, I wasn't able to see, but are you able to hit back some of the lasers? Because those are essentially they're still balls, so you can still utilize them.
Totally. That one is a straight lift of a mechanic from Ocarina of Time. In the Forest Temple, you fight Ganon, and he hits a ball at you, and you hit it back at him, and you hit him down. So we were like, well, that's fun. We got to put that in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm playing this on autopilot. It's maybe I should take a little more time going through this part of the game. So this is the creature sort of really messing with the part of the machine that you built to set them against you and try to stop you from completing the task.
Wow.
Bit of a bullet hell here.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, it's add another genre to that. That's really cool.
Check all the boxes.
This is all of the games.
Yeah, all the games, all the content.
That's neat. So I forget the name of the frog.
Roger.
Roger, yes. Is Roger the only sort of NPC that we get to meet, or are there other creatures that we can find in the depths of these areas?
There are 3, including the creature. So Danielle is our blacksmith. She works in town. She's like a dragon crocodile.
Nice.
And I wrote her kind of as like a muse for my creative energy. She used to make weapons. She's made all the weapons in the game, actually.
Okay.
But she's mad at the creature for locking them away in the dungeon. And so she tells you, like, I used to forge things, but I'm tired, and my creative passion's gone out.
Oh,
and so I wrote
okay.
her literally to be like that feeling when you're just too exhausted to keep making things.
Yeah.
And then Roger's kind of like this book smart guy who doesn't have a lot of experience with the machine, but like really loves to read about it. And so he's got all these facts and tidbits about it, but he's not really sure not really sure what it's called. He's made up all these names for things that he's never seen. And then some of the lore, a lot of the lore comes into the game at the end of these dungeons where you read notes from Roger's grandfrogger, Philip, and the other scientists who were part of the project.
Right.
And then what you do, like in the culmination of beating each dungeon, is you turn that part of the machine on, and you can like come back and still explore it and find the secrets that you might not have unlocked. But you've now like set a benchmark and a milestone for the game.
Right. Oh, that's really nice. What were some of your favorite parts in creating this game? I know you've done the art, so you might be biased towards
the art.
But is there a favorite sort of dungeon piece or character that you created?
I think Roger and Danielle probably were way cooler than I expected them to be. The creature comes out of actually an NPC we were designing to be like an Oscar the Grouch character who lived in a trash can. And that's because our team was so small that we were like, well, we can't really animate anything, so let's just put dialogue coming out of a trash can, and we'll just write a bunch of stuff, and it'll be a whole character. And then we're like, what would be cool is if we put that in a well in town. There's literally a well in the town, and you go up to it, and the creature's eyes come out of it, and he tells you about how people wish upon him.
The game.
Yeah, bringing it all back. People wish upon him. They throw coins into the well, and sometimes he grants their wishes, and sometimes he doesn't. But he loves the attention more than anything else. So Roger and Danielle and Creature are the principal characters that you'll meet in the game. But we've also put like people who talk to you from their homes in the town of Mirage, but they're like, the creature told us we can't speak to you. So they're like boarded up the windows and the doors, and they're like, please leave. We'll get in trouble if we talk to you.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
so there's a whole
shrouded in
world,
mystery.
that's shrouded in mystery. I like the way you said that. I was going to say, we can dive in again because we do have a little bit more time, and I'd love to see, now that we've kind of got this context, just check it out a little bit more.
Of course. So yeah, this will be the first time you meet the creature, and like I said in the demo, we've taken out the dialogue, but this is when he meets you and he says, like, I know what you are, do you know who you are? And he's not sure he's going to divulge and so much to you to make you a threat, but it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to keep watching. So then as you continue through this sort of like escape hatch you've walked out of the desert into, he's not sure whether it's been so long that you're not a threat anymore or whether he needs to intervene. And as the game progresses, he starts to become more and more of a problem for him. And so he starts to increase the difficulty, right?
Right.
And make the machine harder to operate, harder to turn on, and the challenge is more perilous. The other thing that we actually added after this, and I really wish it was in here, is when you die, the creature's hand comes out of the ceiling and picks you up. And then throws you out of the well in town and says, don't go back in there. I don't want you in there.
Oh,
and
my
so
gosh.
it's really cool and really sort of invasive to feel like, he's touching me and he's picking me up. And,
I love that loop, too, because it's kind of, sometimes in games when you die, you just kind of die and you reset.
Right.
It adds this sort of added immersion into this fact that you're, like, continuing to try and go back in.
Right.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and so as the player progresses through the game, he starts to say things like, I'll take care of you later, and then he's like, I really don't want you in there, and you're making him angrier and angrier and angrier.
Oh, no.
And so, yeah, we want that to feel really like, oh, crap, the stakes are getting higher.
So from you two who have worked on the game, are either of you like big pinball fans, or kind of what drew you to this in particular?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I have to admit that I'm not. We like pinball. Like when I go to the arcade, like pinball is a game that I will stop and play right after Galaga or Miss Pac-Man or whatever. But I don't, like, if you ask me, like, specific questions about pinball, I don't think I can answer them. It's more kind of about, like, the breakout stuff, bit of air hockey, the Rocket League, and then the pinball stuff was just kind of like, we can't ignore that it's a great genre of gaming.
Right.
It's worked for so long, and like you pointed out at the beginning, it's so tactile that, like, you have to reference what's working there.
Yeah.
And then try to improve on what, like what we don't, with the game doesn't fit into our game because it's a totally different, genre.
Right.
So yeah,
That's
like
so
these,
cool.
as you progress, like and complete each monolith, these switches here in the lobby is what we call it of the machine will slowly turn on, and you'll be able to access different parts of the system. So right now, the first one you power up is the reserve power, and it's in the it says in the event of the Boxy program failure, which is what you're part of. And so this is kind of like an old, rusty, corroded battery that you're like just
okay.
booting up to like open the machine back up and get back in there.
Okay. So I guess before, because we don't want to forget, but before we move on, where can people find this game coming to? Like what platforms?
Totally. So we're coming to Xbox, Switch, and PC later this summer.
Oh, later this summer, so we don't have to wait too
Soon,
long.
yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, Bo's actually still back in Montreal cranking away on like localization and
Yay,
porting and all
good
this sort of
job,
stuff. Yeah, he's doing all the hard work while I'm here just having fun playing the demo.
Yeah. Doing a lot of hard work talking
Yes,
and telling people about it is good work. And I saw earlier you had a title or an end screen with the social media and stuff.
sure.
But games coming out soon. Where should people go to find you all?
Totally. So you can find it on Twitter at CreatureWell. And you can go to the website creatureinthewell.com, and it'll have links to all the platforms. You can wishlist the game, and I'll sign up for a newsletter and all that sort of stuff.
Awesome. Good. Yeah, we want people to find you. We want people to find this game because it
Appreciate
looks
that.
just really cool.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we're going to be stopping for now. Again, thank you so much for joining us and sharing this gameplay, sharing the story of the creature in the well. And, again, Graham Frogger is my favorite pun of the night. That wins.
Graham Frogger, yeah. Great Graham Frogger.
Yes. So thanks again, Adam.
Yeah,
Again,
thanks for
everyone
having
at home, stay tuned. We are going to be showing off Ember in just a second. But for now, let's take a look at our sponsors, thank them, go follow them, say thanks for having this stream, and we'll be back in a second.
Bye.
Bye.
you ready to free the fire in you? Are you willing to break free from the 9 to 5? Are you between the ages of 18 and 85? Then you're ready, hero, for Ember. As an Ember responder, you're just a tap away from a dynamic and exciting career where you choose how to climb the ladder of success. With the Ember app, you can learn new skills like people management, health and safety, and risk assessment. As an Ember responder, you'll gain access to the latest in Ember personal fire suppression technology. Sign up today and receive a low introductory rate on your Ember equipment starter kit. Sign up now and join the emergency services revolution as an Ember responder.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mix Showcase. My name is Jenny, and we are showing off a small sampling of the many games here at the Mix Showcase at E3. I have here next to me Cameron getting ready to show us the game Ember, which you just saw the trailer for. And I have to say, this game looks really good to me, but it also is terrifyingly very close to being real in some ways, I feel like. With the gig economy and Uber, I feel like step aside, we've got Ember coming up on the way.
Honestly, I'm kind of offended. You say terrifyingly close to being real. I say excitedly close to reality. We're really on the cutting edge of things here with Ember, and you know, we're really jumping fire hose first into the future to make sure that you know, we really get ahead of the game and get that corner of the market before anyone else can jump in on it.
Well, you know, I'm not quite sure if myself or my neighbors are up to the task of being firefighters, but let's see if, as Granny, you can show us some of the ropes, and maybe you can convince me that this is the way for the future.
Well, we at Ember firmly believe that anyone can be a firefighter, and I'm here to show you that today.
Perfect. So it looks like truly anyone can be a firefighter, because even Granny is stepping up to the task.
Absolutely. You know, we have a wide variety of characters for you to play as from all different walks of life and age ranges. So here we are. We've been sent to a call. We've driven our car right through the fence here. And I'm going to pull out my phone, which comes free, complimentary installed with the Ember Client Finder 3.0, which I can use to locate and find any of our valued customers locked inside the burning building. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of work on this fire here. That is why I'm here, after all.
Awesome. So far, this is good. It looks like we just used the fire hydrant.
Yeah. Spray your fire hose around. So far, so good. Let's see where. Okay, we got someone in this room here.
Perfect. Okay, and we got to rescue them and hope they give us a good review.
Absolutely. Okay. Excellent reviews, excellent tips. So as you can see, I'll be doing some of the most quality service. We at Ember pride ourselves in our expediency in rescuing our clients. So as you can see, I've placed a nice trampoline out, and there we go. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know, the express route out, you know, we at Ember understand that fire can be uncomfortable and dangerous, so
oh no.
We'll maybe let that guy finish up. But if he's not ready to go by the time I am, there might be some issues.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to take her right to the trampoline that we set out here a moment ago, just to make sure that that's still there.
All right. Oh, good. And it looks like, I mean, she's still a little bit worried about her house, but
well, yeah, she'll be fine. As soon as I show her to the rescue zone, all will be well. She'll be much more content with herself. All right, buddy. If you don't want to finish up, we're gonna have to take you.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Oh, and you can go with them too.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, you know, that customer service.
Yes.
Superior.
So I'm gonna gingerly place him inside the zone, along with his friends and roommates. Once again, expediency is paramount at Ember because, you know, we are not paid by the hour. We're paid on contract. So rescuing people is how you get paid, and making sure that, you know, that the people really do care about that, you know, the time it takes to complete these tasks. So we've got some dangerous gas leak, which we're going to deal with in the fastest way I could think of, exploding it.
Right. I was going to say, so you don't have to worry so much about the house itself?
No, you are only liable for things that happen on the premise if you're still within the vicinity of the house when it burns down. In that case, I, as the responder, would be legally liable for everything that's happened, but don't worry, we'll be out of here in no time at all.
Well, I mean, they look like they're on their phone, so it looks like everything's going great. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
hopefully leaving a review.
yes. Hopefully they're already putting together their customer comments. But we do have to be careful because they might be searching our competition and their rates as well. So, you know, we definitely want to finish the task before anyone else shows up to upstage us.
Right, because I heard that there is competition.
There is. Our biggest competition is Hoser, which is a Canadian-based firefighting company that believe in disgusting socialized firefighting.
How could they?
I got to rescue my boy here.
Oh my goodness, is that a hamster?
That is. This is Pim, the star of Hamsterdam, one of Muse Games' other games that's coming out. So it's important that we make sure that he makes it out of the fire safe
Of course,
as well.
yeah, that's top priority right there.
So let's see if we can find this last person.
Okay, so in green, your Ember client finder shows you that they are safe.
Correct. And then white shows people that I'm standing in the fire. Should probably get out of that. And then the white will show clients that are yet to be rescued. So let's see if we can find the last person. There they are.
Okay.
So it looks like this room has a little bit of a backdraft in it. You can see the door is flaming red. So we're going to find an alternate entrance through this wall.
Again, Ember is not held liable for damage done to.
Absolutely, yeah. It's only if the house burns down that our responders are liable. So
perfect.
we've made it out here with plenty of time, so we'll place him down just with his friends, and we'll enter the blue escape zone, and we'll set this one as a mission complete.
It doesn't look like we got the fire, though.
Oh! See, one of the great things about Ember is that you're not paid for extinguishing the fire. You're paid for saving lives. So this really cuts out a lot of the middleman that people have in terms of, you know, they get really caught up in saving the building and the surrounding buildings, and that cuts into valuable work time where you could be servicing other clients and rescuing them from their houses and boosting your paycheck that way. So it's a much more profitable way to handle firefighting.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, and it looks like it pays pretty well. $536.93.
For only 4 minutes of work. I got a 5-flame review, and their customer comment, I even got great work with 2 little hearts.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so it looks like, you know, you've got some standard fire rescues. Are there any challenges that we might find in the Ember app? Some challenging areas that we'll need to rescue people?
Yes, Hoser has been really stepping up their game in terms of you know what's going on. They originally tried to recruit some of our personalized Ember responders. Do you want to go again? Yeah, all right, we can go again. You know, they tried to recruit some of our Ember responders, but we stepped in and took the initiative and made them all sign a non-compete clause, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
But unfortunately, Hoser has decided that they want to maybe have slightly more aggressive tactics. We've had some unconfirmed reports of them trapping. You know, let's go in a different entrance. You know, trapping some of our responders inside houses, and they have to escape by any means necessary. We've even heard of some Hoser executives directly cornering and attempting to expire our own responders. Once again, unconfirmed, all hearsay. So I'm actually, this time around, I'm going to take a more aggressive tipping option. I'm going to use the water there to spread the electricity to this powered safe here. And I mean, who's to say if that burned down with the house or if I put that in my pocket? You know, I'm doing some pretty excellent service, I say, and I don't think they're tipping well enough. So we encourage our responders to be very proactive and you know, really use a can-do attitude. And one of those can-do things is, you know, our advanced tipping process.
Taking that initiative.
That guy got himself wrapped up in a bit of a tizzy. I'm actually going to turn on the sprinkler here just to make sure the fire doesn't move through. As you can see, the wire's broken, but once again, I've used my water hose to connect it, and well, that seems to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that doesn't look too safe to toss them on through.
We'll just leave them through here, and let's use the front rescue zone this time.
Okay.
So we're moving through the kitchen living room area. As you can see, we have some very fine homes that we're dealing with. You know, our customers are, you know, some of the top of the line, and, you know, obviously well-paying, you know, a couple $100s for just a couple minutes of work. So, you know, they have some of the finest living conditions that the 5 of them can split between them out here in lovely suburbia.
So will you, with the Ember app, be able to choose which houses or people you'd like to save to sort of maximize your own profits?
Absolutely. So calls are based on neighborhood. So you might find yourself in some similar-looking houses, but, you know, there'll be plenty of differences on the inside as well, as people like to take their own decorative take on the same house structure inside of a neighborhood. So you will actually be able to go back to houses that look really familiar and really try to optimize your run and try to find the most efficient routes to earn some money.
Huh. And it looks like you've got an arsenal of tools already provided by Ember
Correct.
so kindly.
Yes, that we do lease, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not given to you. You have to pay for the use of these tools.
Well, owning things is so 2015.
Oh.
So it is much cheaper in the short term for our clients to have to. Oh, he's making a run for it. For our
Doesn't he
clients,
want to be saved?
Yeah, when you got to go, you got to go. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of an advanced tactic here.
Oh, no.
The water hose is high pressure, so if I spray it straight down while I fall, it'll slow my descent just a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were just going to blow him out with the hose.
That doesn't sound too safe.
No, that's very true. Sorry, I suggested that.
No.
Of course.
Once again, expediency is our number one, but safety is our number two. So I'm actually going to turn on the air conditioning to deal with the gas this time. Every obstacle has multiple solutions to it. For example, here's the master power switch. I could jump up on this box and turn it off, or I could give this barrel
no.
just a quick toss, and there you go. I hit the switch.
So no explosions. Okay.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Oh,
Let's go.
maybe not.
So I have turned off power to the house, and you know what? That guy's on fire. That guy's way off in there. Yeah. I'm going to call it quits. I'm kind of tired. I want to go home.
So what happens if you leave someone on fire?
Well, as you can see, it did affect my rating and my job payout. I only got 3 flames instead of the 5 flame because people left behind in the fire don't pay very well. But I still completed the job. I did reach the legally mandated minimum of 50% or more. So we're going to call that a mission complete. And just like I said, get back, maybe enjoy a little bit of dinner. You get to work your own hours as an Ember responder, right? It's firefighting on your schedule. So you really get the opportunity to be a hero when you need to be.
So if anyone wanted to find the Ember app, maybe sign up to be a firefighter, or to hear more, where can they find you?
So we're on Twitter, Facebook, at Ember Game, and you can stay up to date on us, our development of the app, and some of our other amazing career opportunities.
Wonderful. And finally, what platforms will they be able to find you on?
So we are doing a Steam release is going to be going on as well, and we've got a couple of other platforms that we're in the works with as well. We're in the final stages of that.
Wonderful.
I don't know if we're quite ready to announce it, but it's pretty exciting. So definitely stay tuned on those social media platforms.
That's so great. Thank you so much for showing us Ember, Cameron. Really appreciate it. Again, if you're interested, be sure to keep an eye out for Ember. We have Jet Lancer coming up next, so do not leave your seats. But first, a quick thank you to our sponsors. everyone. Welcome back. We're here at the Mix Showcase at E3, showing you 10 of the games that we're really, really excited about. And I have here with me Ryan, and we just watched the trailer for Jet Lancer. So if you'd like to tell me just a little bit more about just Jet Lancer in general, and we can jump in, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, Jet Lancer is a frenetic aerial dogfighting game. So you're going to take on the role of a pilot, and you're going to hunt other pilots and carve up these giant robots and hopefully not die while traveling at supersonic speeds. You know, I could talk a lot about what this game is, but I think the game does a really good job of showing it for itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's jump in and see what it looks like. Really like the music.
Yeah, the music, it's done by a group called Fat Bard. They also did the music for Battleship Brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing soundtrack, and they did all these different layers. You may get to hear some of it during this, but you'll hear kind of this like MIDI chiptune-y bit, and then like drums and guitars, and it picks up in a way that is really energizing and makes you always feel a little bit on edge. So right now I'm just running through kind of the basic tutorial stuff, teaching you how to fly, kind of how to make sure that your jet isn't going to just crash. We actually
Very
took away that
important.
ability right now. What's really cool is we actually took all the like training wheels that a player might normally want, and we went ahead and made them upgrades in the game. So when you start the game, you're going to come with all these different things equipped, where you can't hit the ground. If you're about to get hit by something, you'll get a warning indicator. Things that players might not always realize.
Right.
But as you progress, you can go and upgrade your ship to be a little more aggressive and a little more free-flowing and customize it to your style.
Okay.
But to do that, you'll have to take off these training wheels.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. As someone who isn't as familiar with playing, and flying games, I sometimes get intimidated. So that's like really nice to hear that you can kind of ease your way through that.
Yeah, and if you are intimidated, there's one upgrade that you might really enjoy. It's the anti-stress indicators. You'll see
Love the name.
Yeah, you'll see our HUD right here. It's very kind of military, very cyber. We replace it with cats because why not?
Why not?
Yeah, it's honestly the best way to play this game.
Oh my gosh. Is it available in the demo by any chance?
It is not.
I
For
had
the
to
demo,
ask just
yeah,
to see.
Absolutely. So you'll see a couple pop-ins from characters that in the story mode of the game you'll get to interact with. You play as Ash, the pilot. You also see in this demo Captain Ratskeller, who is sort of your boss. The entire story for Jet Lancer was written by Corey O'Brien, who did the story for Monster Prom.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I love all sort of these sort of indies that have come together in this one game,
Yeah.
the experiences.
Yeah, it's great. And then the core development team are actually first-time indie devs. A gentleman named...
Congratulations.
I work at the publisher Armor Game Studios, but the developers are Vladimir Fedushkin, who's based out of Russia, and then Nikolai Danielson, who's based in Denmark.
Okay.
Vladimir does a lot of the art and kind of hacking code solutions, and Nikolai is much more heavily involved with the programming. We also have an external artist named Bruno, who is helping us out with some other sprites and characters and things like that. All in all, it's an amazing team to work with, and I'm just super happy to see them, finding success at events like the Mix.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I mean, I was saying earlier, but it's very weird to call a game with planes cute, but it's very cute. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, this is really adorable. What are some of those things that we see in the background, though? Those kind of big round structures?
Yeah, so we have a couple different environments in the game. We're showing off a very basic one here, just because, it's your first time playing it. Don't get distracted with other things.
Right.
But throughout the game, there's different locations you'll play in, different times of day and night. And it's really just there to show you different parts of the world, some of which may become relevant as giant robots begin wreaking havoc.
Ah, yes. Are we going to be able to see maybe one of those giant robots in the demo?
If I continue to not die. And then you'll see here in this wave of enemies, there's actually showing off really some of the more interesting tidbits in the beginning AI. Enemies that have kind of an air dash that will slice you in half, swarms of enemies that will do their best to surround you and tear you apart, and snipers, which I took out the last one already because I hate them. and they all need to die.
Because you're a pro is why. Because you're a pro.
But yeah, what's also really cool is, so we have this story, we have this campaign mode. It's 40 missions long, 10 of which are bosses. And then after we have a New Game Plus. And a lot of games for New Game Plus will just go in and put in, oh, you deal less damage and enemies deal more. We actually just tune the AI to be far more aggressive. So they will do things that you don't see in the base game. And just as a way to encourage you to go through and really, learn the story all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes. So this is Tower. Tower is a mechanical sea serpent that has been terrorizing ships. I do not like Tower very much because she eats me repeatedly, and it's not a great experience to get eaten by a giant robot snake. But it's fine. Hopefully we'll see her do the fun part right here.
Whoa.
She has a giant laser that will ruin your day.
But it looks really cool. Whatever she's doing looks really neat.
Yeah, we are fond of things here.
Oh no!
I'll do my best to not die here.
So it looks like you have three hearts.
Yep.
But I saw some bullets kind of appearing above those hearts. What were those bullets representing?
Sure. So you have 3 main weapons. You have your minigun here. You have some homing missiles that you can fire with. And then you have a charged weapon, which for me is a swarm of missiles. Which didn't actually do much because I was right on top of it. I also have a dodge roll here that allows me to become invincible for a brief moment, which is really good when you die to the boss. It's okay.
Oh no, let's give it another shot. I want to see what happens. I love how smooth everything looks too. Like the flight, not just you flying, but your enemies and the boss. Like everything looks really fluid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is all all the work of Vladimir and Nikolai. A lot of the graphics they actually do via math. It's not just sprites that they're morphing in different ways.
Right.
They're actually drawing it via like algorithms. It's much too complex for me to properly understand or even explain, but it's very cool. And hopefully I'll get to show you another one of those effects if I manage to beat this boss.
I was gonna say, so good excuse to stay in school, study math, and your game could look like this.
Yeah. I wish I could make a game like this. I'm lucky that I get to be a part of this project, and I love this team that I'm working with.
So you play as Ash primarily. Do you get to, in addition to customizing your plane, do you ever get to experience the story as other characters as well?
So that's not something I can really talk about right now.
Okay.
What I will say is not really in the main story, but you may encounter other characters in other modes.
It's a possibility.
Oh, no, I was so close.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is it. Third time's the charm. You just wanted us to be on the edge of your seats.
Yes,
Our
this was
seats,
entirely intentional.
It's very good.
All right, let's get in there. Come on.
Oh my gosh. So with this reticle, you can kind of see where Tower is. So you can still shoot in that direction and hopefully stay away from any attacks that she's setting up.
Yeah, it's not super important when you're dealing with a boss and, it's one giant robot that you can't miss. Where it really becomes important to use those notifiers off to the side or when you're dealing with swarms of enemies. And some of the later game stuff that you encounter are swarms. I need to get out of here.
Oh my goodness. And I love how as you continue to destroy Tower, you can see sort of the pieces flying off and see the effect that you're having, that's really satisfying.
Yeah, it's great. And, there's 10 bosses in the game. Not all of them are Tower.
Nice.
And
wow.
Here we go. So all of this is actually done via math, not sprites. And it just leads to something that's very crisp and clean looking.
That's cool. That looks really cool.
Now you'll see I did terribly because I fired a lot in wrong directions and I ended with one life.
Multitasking, that's totally cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Evasion,
that's
precision. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So each level or each stage in the game will have a different rank that you can go for. S plus being the highest, and you'll move towards that by completing things quickly without wasting a lot of shots.
Right.
Overcharge time is something where sometimes you'll see if I do a perfect dodge in the game, like my bullets will change color. And that's the amount of time that I spent in that state. All of those things contribute towards a higher score. We really wanted to put a couple things in here for people who wanted to show off how good they were. We talked a little bit about upgrades earlier and how some of them are training wheels. Some of them are really meant for show-offs. We have an upgrade that reduces your life to 1, and that's it. And that's its only purpose is to make the game harder for you because some people like that challenge.
Yeah, I was going to say that's really for people who are really good at this game and they do want to show off. That's awesome that you're providing them those extra opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
Nice. So what platforms can we find this title on?
So right now we've only announced Steam. We haven't rolled console out, but we have nothing to announce yet.
Awesome. And then if they can look for this game or if they want to look for this game, where can they find y'all?
Yeah, so you can find this game on Twitter at JetLancerGame, all one word. You can also find it at jetlancergame.com. And you can also follow the main developer, Vladimir, at Why Not Art Dump, and then Nikolai at NICOLIGD.
Awesome.
You can also follow Armor Game Studios at Armor Game Studio.
And of course, before we leave, I want to ask, what's been your favorite part on working on this game? Do you have a favorite moment or maybe, I don't know, upgrade that you've experienced?
Yes. One of the upgrades is an air dash. It lets you move a short period across the screen, and it uses almost all of your boost to do so. But when you do, you cut things in half. And
nice.
It's very satisfying to line up a little trail of 5 or 6 enemies, turn around really quick, and just go right through them. It's a very satisfying feeling.
Awesome. Could we take a second and maybe see that really fast? Because I'd love to see, or maybe see you show off some of the enemies.
It's not in this demo. We may be showing some stuff off later this year, but this is going to be most of it.
Oh, all right. Cool. Well, that will be it for Jet Lancer. Thanks again for joining us on the mix. We're going to take a second. There's no trailer for this next game, but I am so excited to tell you more about the Wild at Heart. So stay tuned, and we're going to be jumping into that in just a second. So have a look at our sponsors. All right. See you in a bit. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mix Showcase at E3. Super excited about this game. We didn't have a trailer, but don't worry, we have Chris here ready to show us the gameplay right now for the Wild at Heart. And this game looks so beautiful, I have to say.
Thank you so much.
I love it. It looks like this children's book that's come to life, really. But if you wanted to get started and tell us a little bit, since we didn't get to see a trailer, what's the Wild at Heart about?
Sure. So in the Wild at Heart, you play as Wake, who is this character right here. He is a 12-year-old boy who decides it's going to be a great idea to run away from home, from a troubled home life. So he packs all his most important toys and equipment together and runs away from home. But he very quickly gets lost in the woods and is scared and kind of realizes the reality of what's going on and wants to really just go back home, but has accidentally stumbled into another world. And while in that other world, he meets the residents of that world and kind of gets wrapped up in their story and the progress and in the process of trying to get home. So eventually, he ends up setting his own tasks aside in order to help them out and kind of get part of that. So, and there's a big story there, which we don't really have to go into right now because I don't want to spoil it for everyone. But yeah, so that's sort of the setup. That's what players will kind of get in the first hour or so of the game. So you can see here, this is Scrap Heap, who we're just meeting, or Tea Kettle Weirdo, as we know him this early. But yeah, I mean, it's a big story-driven game, so there's definitely going to be a lot of dialogue and a lot of characters and things like that. So even in the demo, we definitely want to hint at that. So, you know, there's a lot of text here that I'm kind of skipping through a little bit. But yeah, so Scrap Heap basically is helping you. This is shortly after Wake has stumbled into this world. And so he's encountered Scrap Heap, and Scrap Heap's trying to help you get to his home, which is called the Grove. It's where sort of the people of his order reside. So so this demo sort of centers around trying to get there and solving a puzzle that is like the obstacle that's in the way there. So.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is like a lovely fairy tale world for sure.
Yeah.
What inspired because it's got sort of this eclectic feel to it. What inspired the visual style?
So I'm not the artist, but I've done the spiel a lot.
Yes.
So I think Justin's watching, so hopefully I get this right.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, but you know, heavily inspired by a lot of like storybook and illustrated styles. So if you're familiar with movies like Song of the Sea or Secretive Kells, like that kind of thing, even Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki and those kind of things. Someone compared it earlier tonight to. There we go. Yeah.
Little mic adjustment.
We're good now. Probably my beard getting in the way again. So. Over the Garden Wall, things like that. So, you know, really that sort of illustrated, hand-drawn storybook kind of style, bringing that together, trying to put you as if you're in a storybook and living that imaginative world. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get that vibe. And I mean, there's little trinkets, though, that are kind of out of place, like the TV and the cans. Can you tell us a little bit about, like, how some of those cross over into this forested area?
Sure, yeah. So the world that you found yourself in, you come to know as the Deep Woods.
Oh,
and
that's so cute.
the deep, yeah, this is a Spriteling. So this is a little pop-up telling you about Spriteling. So these are the little followers who will end up following you around, and they're kind of inhabitants of this world, of the Deep Woods. But to answer your question, the Deep Woods is sort of a place where lost things end up. So that's lost things from our world end up there. So that's why you see things like trashed TVs and arcade machines and paint buckets and trash and things like that. So yeah, but you can see these Spritelings. They're sort of scattered all about, and once you start to get a lot of them, you can really start to do a lot of things. So I could throw them here. And they'll start building this bridge.
That's so cute.
So I'm going to just sort of leave them to work on that and kind of go exploring. And so here's another guy. Here's a gate I can't quite get through right now, so I'll just come back later.
And so the more you gather, the faster they can get the task done.
Yeah, and the more they can do. And there's all kinds of different types, too. So this first type that you get, they're called Twiglings. They're sort of nature-based. So they can... for example, they're immune to poison. So these mushrooms that if I try to go through his wake, he's going to take some damage. But if I throw these guys at him, they're immune to the poison. So
they'll take care of that for you so you can explore a little bit further in that area.
Yeah, exactly. So now I can get through here and take out the trash. So I'll let them work on that, and I'll let this guy start to work on this wall over here.
I like Wake's backpack.
Yeah,
it's
so
got kind of a Ghostbusters feel almost with sort of the vacuum that you've got.
exactly. And so Wake is he's an inventor of sorts. He likes to think of himself that way, and he's a tinkerer, and this is his Gustbuster. That's what he calls it. So he invented this, and
Cute.
yeah, and it's a vacuum, and it has 2 levels. So this is the sort of weak level, which can get things like scrap. So if I go up here, it can collect all this stuff up. But it also has a second tier, which I'll do. Looks like that, and that can pull.
Wow.
Yeah, that can pull heavy things. It can also pull these guys back to you. So if I like throw them over here and then get them back. So yeah.
That's so cute.
Oops.
All right, so it looked like there was 8 out of 16 still left on the bridge, so they weren't able to finish the task because they ran out of wood, it looks like.
Yeah.
And that's why you're opening this area up.
Exactly. So once I got through this wall here, I was able to get to this other bridge pile and start finishing this bridge. So once that bridge gets finished, I'll be able to cross over and see what's on the other
Explore
side.
a little bit more. So what are those sparkling apples down there? Is that eventually for maybe health if any enemies come across the way?
Yeah, so exactly. So these are called heart fruit. They're one of many different types of resources in the game. So you can use your guys to help you, as they love to do. They can collect them up, and they'll just sort of carry them around and follow you. But if I go back to camp, they'll drop them off. And now that they're in my stash, I can do some crafting here.
Okay.
And let's just see what happens when I put 3 together.
Ultra heart fruit.
So now I have some heart fruit juice.
Nice.
Yeah, so if Wake starts to lose health, I can just drink one of these and be filled up. And there's inventory here, and that keeps track of everything you've collected and crafted. So,
that's neat.
So here's some more. You can just go ahead and get this stuff, drop it off, and once you get close enough, they'll kind of just like automatically do it. So. So here's a big boulder, so this is kind of where I'm trying to get to. So let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, 1 out of 6, so we know I don't have enough guys yet.
Ah, okay, so we need to get more teammates
yeah,
for
so
this.
we'll go back. So this bridge should be done now. Go back over here. And here's another guy. Oh, there's the first enemy of the game. So he's called a Bellawog. He's a big warty frog.
He's a big stinker,
And
oh my gosh.
If you get in his area, he really comes after you, so... and Wake isn't much of a fighter himself, so he's got to use his team here to kind of protect himself. So, and he'll do little moves like that. Oh, a couple of my guys fell in the water. Don't worry, they just go back to camp right now. They'll be fine.
Phew, that's good.
Yeah.
Just float on back home.
Eventually, we're still pretty early in the game, so that's kind of a temporary solution to them falling in the water. But yeah, eventually they might like be able to paddle a little bit or things like that. So, all right, I've taken him out, so I can get some more, collect these resources here.
Ah, so it looks like did he drop those cans for you?
He did. He dropped those cans for me. Yeah. That's again one of the elements of the game where we're just actively trying different things and seeing what works. So they dropped those, so you can see. Oh, I'm 2 parts of the way through this next unknown recipe of mine. So
you'll always need 3 items to be able to craft something.
Always 3, and it might be 3 different ones. It might be 3 of the same one. You just have to sort of experiment with the system.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
so
adorable with all of them following you.
Yeah. So it starts to get pretty good. So now I have enough guys to move this boulder out of the way. Boom. And then they'll just go to work. So they'll get it out of the way. Get some scrap here, climb up these vines, and now I'm into a whole new area.
Oh, wow.
So now that I have a little better perspective on the situation, you can see this gate is up, which is what we're trying to get through. That leads us to the grove, where me and Scrap Heap are trying to get. But if I try to pull this thing, which should bring the gate down, but you can see there's a gear missing.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll need to find a missing gear, since I know where it is.
So how many different, you mentioned these spritlings are specific to, the mushrooms and sort of collecting the natural items. What other spritlings can we encounter in this game?
Right, so we don't have a final number on how many types, but we do know a few. In this demo, there are 2 different ones. There's the twiglings, these are the nature-based ones. And then we have the pebblings, which are rock-based. And
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and go down and show you the pebblings. So since they're made of rock, they are immune to sharp objects, pointy things. So, for example, there's bees in the game, and they don't like that sludge, so I better get them away from that.
Them running away. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love all the little facial expressions, like even Wake, you know, when he's holding his, I forget what you call it, the backpack,
The Gustbuster,
Buster,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, you can
So-
see, his little face there.
That's really
And he
cute.
like has lots of, his little eyes move as we move around.
Yeah.
So
Oh, does this say poopy chunks?
those are poppy chunks.
Poppy chunks. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, these are poppy chunks. So these are part of what we'll need to craft our next important item, which is a tea kettle bomb. So I'll just go ahead and grab all this stuff up. They'll
Yeah.
just follow me around. So here we go. These are pebblings.
Oh my gosh.
So these guys, like I was saying, they're resistant to pointy things, and they can also break crystals, which the twiglings cannot do. So
Okay. Oh, and I see we've come across a few crystals here.
yeah,
so that's
I'll just have everyone drop everything for now because we got some work to do. So I'll switch to my pebblings and start chucking them over here.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
How many can follow you at one time? Is there a maximum at this point?
Well, right now, so the demo, there's only so many Spritlings in the demo. So right now, that's the max just by default. In the game itself, we're still toying with how to handle that. There'll probably be some caps to how high your herd can get, but it might be something that you can upgrade with certain abilities or items and things like that.
Cool.
So, yeah, so if I switch, so the beehive, obviously the twiglings here, they do not like the bees, so I don't want to throw them. But if I switch to the pebblings, since they're made of rock, I'll go ahead
And they'll
throw
come
them.
to the forefront so that you can toss them first.
Yeah, so now I can use them. You can get all kinds of goodies here. And you can see there's a rock here with a big crack in it, which if I try to throw these guys, they won't know what to do. So we should probably come back with. Let me just collect all this good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Oh, all the stuff we dropped earlier. Yeah.
That's so cute with all of them just carrying their items around.
Yeah, we got quite the little herd here. Yeah, so.
Oh, and I like, did you just sort them a little
I did,
bit?
yeah. I was making sure I didn't have any empty-handed guys. So yeah, you can see if I sort them, they'll just switch places. Oop.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Yeah, so you can imagine if you have like a bunch of different types, it'll look pretty cool. So now that we've gotten more items, let's see what else I can make. So you can see now, I select one, 2 more things are highlighted.
Oh, so you don't, it removes the potential for maybe like failed recipes.
Exactly, and
That's
and
nice.
again, that is something we've toyed around with. Like, do we allow failed recipes? Is that frustrating to have so many outputs that are just dead? You know, like they don't do anything. So this is where we've landed for now. Is it sort of funnels out anything that is incompatible and lets you. But there's still some experimentation there, so you can be like, oh, I can put 2 of those, but nothing else. I wonder what the missing ingredient is.
Yeah.
So.
That's kind of nice. I think that's sometimes, you know, if there's so many options, you kind of don't know where to start, and maybe you don't explore as much. So.
And we might do stuff to help you. Once you've learned a recipe, maybe it goes into a recipe book of some kind, and you can make it after that quickly.
Very cool.
Again, these are all things we're still toying around with and trying to figure out what's going to be best for the game. So I just made a kettle bomb, which. If we can go back, well, let's make 2 because I know I'm gonna need.
Got a gut feeling that
I got a
something's
gut
gonna
feeling, yes, yeah, just intuition for sure.
Definitely did not make this. No way.
So we'll go ahead and use one of my kettle bombs here. Throw it over there. Not get in the way.
So if you get in the way, could maybe harm befall Wake and some of the Spritlings?
That's the idea. Yeah, we probably. Again, something we're toying with, like how punishing do we have that be? It might be something where it just sort of knocks you down, you lose some time, but, you know, so it's more of a game about exploration and, you know, things like that. So not trying to be too punishing here.
Right.
So. But we need some it'll be some reaction at least for sure. So here, now that I have my pebblings, I can get through these crystals. I'll use a bomb here. And boom.
I like all the sounds, like when you collect things, when things explode. There's a lot of really nice sounds in this game too.
Yeah, our audio designer is he's quite talented, and he records everything. Everything is sampled with his crazy microphone setup. So yeah, there's a lot of the mushroom sounds. I was just telling someone earlier that he was like texting me late at night. He's like, I just went out into the woods and squished some mushrooms around in my hands. And
This is real authentic mushroom.
yeah, and they are. And
sounds.
I'm like, oh, you're crazy, but it sounds so good. So yeah.
That's amazing. So what's some of the favorite things that you've worked on so far in this game?
Oh man, that's a good question. Well, we're a pretty small team, so we all kind of work on a lot of different stuff. But what's something I worked on recently? The crafting system. That's one thing I did, and the whole UI. And actually, when we showed this game at GDC in March, the crafting system kind of worked a little differently. And so last week, in fact, I sort of revamped how it filters and how it kind of helps you through all that. So that's been a lot of fun. And one thing I really love to do is just like the little things, like go through and like tweak little things here, like maybe this stick pile is like not in the right place. Let's just move it over here and see how that works. Like level design kind of tweaks like that. So
well, and especially when creating like a forest or a grove like this area, there's so much that you could put in it, but those little details really do make a difference.
Yeah, especially when we're so close to it, and it's like, oh, this makes sense, and then you put it in front of someone, and they don't see it at all, and you're like, what? Okay, let me move it. Let me just move it a few inches over. Yeah, so
and all of a sudden it becomes clear.
Right. So here I've crafted another item called the wind catcher. So this we can use to attach to something and hopefully get it to spend. So I'll go.
Hopefully make our way into scrap heaps
to
area.
His grove.
Yeah,
exactly.
to the grove.
So my intuition is just kicking in again.
Right.
I think this is the way. So I'll use the wind catcher I just crafted here. And now that it's fixed, boom. And now.
Well, that looks interesting.
Yep. Oh, they're doing the question marks because I haven't talked to this guy. All right, we'll end it here, but this is Kath. Yeah.
What?
So.
Oh my goodness.
So he's a Dracoon. He's one of the residents of this world, and he eventually if you get through this dialogue, he basically will give you this cog you need in exchange for a giant snack, as he calls it. And so once I bring him that big turnip we just saw,
I can relate to that mood.
Yeah, he'll give us the cog.
Bring me a snack.
Yeah.
Wow. What
Dracoon.
Dracoon.
Yeah, sort of like a dragon and a raccoon.
That's very cool. This is super intriguing to me because now I'm seeing all these arcade cabinets. Okay, so a little bit of that mystery. You're leaving us on a cliffhanger for sure.
Yes.
So thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you.
But first, could you tell us a little bit more about like what platforms and maybe when we can find the Wild at Heart?
Sure. So we'll be launching on PC and Xbox One. As far as when, TBD.
Yeah.
We're still very early and excited to share as we go along, but not announcing anything for sure yet. We definitely want the game to be as good as possible before we make a release date. So
definitely. And so where do you normally share about your game and where can people find you?
Yeah, so definitely Twitter. We also have Instagram, YouTube, all of the normal social medias, and we recently set up a Discord server so people can join our server, and we're on there all the time. Nice. We have Ask the Devs channel if people want to ask us questions about what's going on. So yeah, all those places, anytime we make a big announcement, it'll be going out on all of those for sure. So
awesome. And is it just at the Wild at Heart?
Our Twitter is at our company name, which is Moonlight Kids. That's our studio. So at Moonlight Kids _. And we also have our website, which is moonlightkids.co.
Perfect.
And our game is also on there. So you can find everything on
awesome.
there. Yeah.
One-stop shop. I like it.
Yeah, one-stop shop. It's all on there, yeah. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Chris. And everyone at home, stay tuned. We have Ari and the Secretive Seasons coming up next. You don't want to miss this one. It's another really exciting indie at the Mix Showcase. But first, let's take a moment and thank our sponsors.
powerful force has thrown our realm into chaos. Ari, like your father before you, you must become the Guardian of Winter and journey across uncharted lands. Fighting the forces of evil to restore balance once more. The greatest adventures have small beginnings. Ari and the Secretive Seasons.
Hey everyone, we are back at the Mix Showcase at E3, and I'm very excited for this next game, Ari and the Secretive Seasons. I was just telling Seb here that it's a game that I've actually watched for quite some time, and so I'd love to see where it's at now.
Thank you. It's been 2 years in development.
2 years.
So it's quite a long time now.
So you're saying, where are we at in this demo? Like, what action are we going to be able to see today?
So that is going to be a quite intense demo because it's a boss fight.
Very cool.
So it's going to be a lot of running, a lot of jumping and fighting.
Very cool. I'm excited to see it.
All right. Let's
Winter
start.
Golem. Okay. So with Ari and the Secretive Seasons, the big mechanic is Ari is using the seasons
Yes.
and able to manipulate them. Could you explain a little bit more?
So she can manipulate the season, and it's some sort of a local version of the season. So for example, I'm going to start to walk around in here, and if I do the winter season in here, I have a little bubble that appear, and I can walk on the ice in there.
Oh.
And if I remove it, I will just fall in water. I can jump back and put back and go back on the floor.
Wow. Also, this game looks beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really, really nice.
Also, we have the slingshot. With the slingshot, we can put season on it also.
Oh, that's cool. So
So
you
we
can,
can-
from afar.
Yeah, we can shoot season from the far. And for instance, in here, we see like a little block of ice. And we have another power that will unlock later in the game, which are the platforms where we can actually jump on top of that.
Oh, fun.
And if we remove it, we fall down.
Is there a time limit for how long you can keep the seasons active? Or
No.
Oh,
One
that's
of the
great.
things that we have in Ari is that we are removing all the limits. If I actually jump in water and dive into it, I can stay as much as I want underwater.
Oh, cool. I like that. That gives you sort of time and space
Yeah,
to really explore.
exactly. So now we won't have a lot of time now because we're going to run into a boss fight.
Oh, no. Vacation's over. We got to get
Exactly.
serious. Say, this is so beautiful. I don't think it's a boss. It can't be.
Oh, you'll see.
So what is this key that Ari is using?
So that in every temple you will get a key that will allow you to open the boss. So then you can fight the boss. This one is a flying one.
Wow.
And it's attached to a chain.
Say that's probably very helpful for you that it's attached to a chain.
Yes.
Oh wow! So it looks like Ari was able to slingshot and make
Yeah.
the stairs come up. So you have
Exactly.
access.
So actually I can control the season and remove everything and use the slingshot again and shoot that little ball over there to be able to open it again.
Awesome.
So that ball is attached to the bird. So the ball is going to go up and the level is going to go up as well. And you can see the level forming on top of that.
Oh, cool. So what inspired you and your team to create a game that allowed a character to manipulate the seasons like this?
It's a lot of things, but when I was little, I actually did a little games that was on RPG Maker. It was season-based, and like later in making games, I ended up by doing that again.
It's really neat.
I don't know where I'm going now. Okay.
Wow, and this world looks so expansive and beautiful. And you said this is the dungeon.
Yeah.
Is this a world that Ari's going to be able to explore, and how many dungeons will she be able to explore?
So it's quite easy to understand that there is like 4 seasons, there is 4 temple and 4 region. Oh, now she's jumping.
Where is she going?
On top of a ball, of course.
Oh my gosh.
We did that because we could.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the chase is continuing and I have still to run after the bird.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is stage 2.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And if I'm too slow, actually, I will fall down.
I was going to say, you can see spring kind of creeping up behind.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
The music is quite good also.
See, so what part of the project were you working on?
Well, I started the project alone. Then somebody joined, and now we ended up by being like between 8 and 10. Right now it's more 8 than 10. Oh.
I was going to say, you can definitely focus on the boss fight if you need to. And I love these little sort of mini ice golems that you're fighting.
All right. This one is finished. It's going to start again. All right. So now I can talk.
The chase continues. So what is this mystery that Ari is trying to solve? Because she's visiting these 4 areas. What's her goal?
So the game is very story-driven. So at the beginning of the game, she is like a little girl that is playing in her room. She's playing with dolls and so on, and she's really, she doesn't have like any idea that what is going to happen afterwards.
Right.
But then she will go in a quest and try to prove that she can be worth it. And she ended up by jumping onto a bird.
That's very heroic, for sure.
So yeah, it's more like every time you have like the goal that go further and further, and it's a story about her growing up also.
Wow.
It's not finished.
Nope, not done yet. Wow.
So now there is few ways to approach the bird.
Oh, now it's getting serious.
I can attack him on the floor directly.
Oh, and you can see, so are the blue crystals on the bird, are those hit areas that we want to focus on?
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do now.
Oh, there we go.
So in autumn, he's losing all the feathers that it have. No, that's autumn. So I can actually damage him.
Okay.
And he's losing a part of his health.
That's neat. Has it been challenging to sort of create different situations and different puzzles for the different seasons?
Yeah, because we try to integrate the season in all the aspects of the game. So we have season for fights, we have season for puzzles, and and we have also season for exploration. So indeed, like, we have some enemies that are able to that are way more powerful in winter and have like Fist of Ice. And if you put them in autumn, for example, they are very weak and very thin. This bird, for instance, his best season is the summer, and he's doing those fire attack. But for example, if he's attacking and I put in autumn, I will go against that. Let me try. Okay, here, I'm protected.
That's awesome. So I love that as a player, you can really strategize and you have to use your observation to really understand what's going on.
Yeah. I can also force him to fly off. Yo. By putting him in winter.
Oh, and now you got a good shot.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what were some of the inspirations behind this game then? You mentioned,
It's a mix of all the travel that I've done around. It's like it has a mix of culture that is pretty intense. In here, it's more like an Asian region, but we have something that is more Greek in the south of the regions. Some stuff are more medieval, and it's a mix of all the things that I visit around.
That's really cool. I love that your travel's really informed what people are going to get to experience in the game.
Yeah.
That's great.
No.
And what can we see? So in the upper left-hand corner, it looks like we've got the 4 elements, or the 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's the season that I can actually cast.
And then it looks like the health bar, or the sort of like the red that's left.
In it, that's the health bar, but of Ari.
Okay.
I'm pretty bad at aiming now.
We're so close, though. Just one more good hit,
Yeah.
it looks like.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, I love that there was, there's so many elements to this battle. There was the chase, there was using the seasons to even get to the boss, and then, the actual slingshotting.
She's just got what she was looking for.
Oh, okay.
And magic. Hop. So also in the region we have like a lot of red crystals, and you have to destroy all of those to actually restore the seasons.
Okay.
It's quite convenient in that demo. You can just break one and it will change the season.
Wish it was easy to do that in real life. If you want to just change the weather, find the crystal. Nice, that's satisfying.
And now it's in winter.
Wow. So that's really neat. You've got, a lot of different cultures you mentioned. So are the NPCs, do we have a lot of different NPCs that Ari will get to meet and interact with?
Yeah, there is pretty much a few NPC that we'll be able to see. For example, the NPC in the summer region.
Yeah.
They are stuck in winter, and they are all in swimsuit under the snow.
Oh, no.
The way that you will be able to talk to them is to put them in summer.
That's great. Yeah, give them something nice to wear those swimsuits in.
Here, for example, we can see that we can have like multiple seasons at once also. Oh,
I love that. The contrast is so fun, seeing the springtime with the winter. That's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot summer. And one cool thing that I always like to show, like we can go over there, and there is that big thing of water. No, wrong one. And we can just go underwater.
Awesome. Ooh, yeah, and I see there's lots of little areas and kind of twists.
Yeah, it's super easy to hide a lot of stuff also.
Oh, nice. And you can kind of shoot up and melt that stuff for an easy get out.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what platforms is Ari and the Secretive
Seasons
Seasons
coming to? It will come on
to?
all platforms, PC, Xbox, PS4, and Switch.
Nice.
And maybe the other platforms that are emerging. We don't know yet about that, but that might happen.
That's exciting. Is there an estimated release date? Do you have any?
Yeah, it's Q1 2020.
Very cool. So very.
We don't know exactly. Yeah, we don't know exactly when it's gonna be. There is a lot of new games that have been announced in March. So.
Yeah, avoid March probably.
Yeah.
That's I think what a lot of people are thinking right now. It'll be a good month, but yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, so Q1 2020, and if people want to find you online and learn more about Ari and the Secretive Seasons, where can they find you?
We have a Twitter. We're very active on Twitter. It's Ari Season on Twitter. We have also the same one on Facebook, but they can also go on our website, which is called ari-game.com, and they're going to have everything in there also.
Great. Awesome. So be sure to check this game out. Again, it's 2 years in the making. It's coming out in 2020, and I'm excited to see just how much further Ari's journey goes. It's really cool. So thanks again, Seb, for joining us. And in just a second, we're going to be looking at one other game. But first, let's take a look at our sponsors. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mix Showcase at E3. My name is Jenny, and again, we have been just taking a quick journey, a little taste test through some of the games available at the showcase tonight. It's been really exciting. We've seen such a wide variety of titles, all with their own unique quirks, and we have Vanessa here ready to show us a little bit more about Riverbond, which definitely has its own adorable art style. Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about Riverbond?
Sure. Yeah, so Riverbond is a dungeon crawler and a shoot and slash because it's got, shooting elements as well as hack and slash.
Yeah.
So you can play co-op up to 4 players and basically go on an adventure together. It's actually out this week. We released, stealth-released at E3. So, yeah.
I think I might be able to play the game.
Ooh, yeah.
Hopefully, that'd be really... All right, let's see if I can reach forward and see... We'll test it out, and hopefully I'll be able to. Because, I mean, looking at this art style, it's just absolutely stunning. And it's really neat because it gives me that, 16-bit feel with voxel, which is really cool. What made you choose voxel, for your art style?
Yeah, so voxel is something that we really want to explore. Like Martin, our lead dev, he was really into Minecraft. He had his own server and everything. And
I think, are you player 1? I might be able to join, so fingers crossed.
All right, let me just, Is there a preference for the worlds? These are all the worlds that we have right now. You can play, we actually have all the worlds unlocked, so we can choose any one that we want to do.
They all look so cool. Do you have a personal favorite?
I like the first one right here, so we can go with this.
I was going to say, I really like whatever this creature is.
This is the boss, so it's kind of a wacky character. So A to join.
Okay. Oh, maybe I won't be able to join. Here, let me try.
Okay.
Boop.
No.
Darn, I might not be able to play, but that's okay. I'll enjoy your gameplay.
For sure, yeah.
Put these back.
Cool. So here we are in the world of Riverland. We landed in here, came out from the River of Light right here. We can talk to this guy.
Bygone Billy. So what was the role that you have on this game?
So in this game I do the art. Also a little bit of everything because we're indies, so we got to do everything. So at the moment I guess I'm quite more focused on the whole marketing side of things just because we're at E3. You can basically go on a little charming adventure. Right here, there's a lily pad you can jump on.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Yeah.
We've got a Hector the pup.
Yeah, we got a little pup right here. There are little collectibles as well, like those stars, and that ties to the achievements. So some of the NPCs will tell you some story points, like this guy right here. So I guess I won't make you read all of it, but basically he's telling you to go on right ahead.
Oh, I love voxel just because the ability to see everything sort of crumble. It's a really satisfying way.
Right. Thanks. Yeah, we really worked hard on making this game very tactile, so it plays really well in terms of destroying things. Like we see people really just going through the whole world just doing this, let me destroy everything.
Well, and it looks like things are growing back as well.
Yep, the grass grows back, so you can do this all day.
Yeah, it's not too bad for the environment.
Yeah, true. Before we go, I have to show you this. So this is Bomb Girl. She's one of the characters. She's a love interest. Spoiler.
Yes. Wait, a love interest?
Well,
we can date Bomb Girl?
Not quite date, but yeah, she's a character
Yeah.
that we really wanted to highlight. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's really cute. And so
Yeah.
does she, because it looks like she's next to a forging or a forge.
Right.
Does she create things for you? Or?
She's bomb girl, so she has bombs. She doesn't create it in front of you. They just magically appear wherever she is. So yeah. I'm playing here as another character. This is one of our starter characters. I'm a donut.
Oh my gosh, this is so cute.
And I can be a big donut by doing that.
What inspired you to put a donut as one of the starter characters?
Right. Yeah. So we're not taking ourselves very seriously,
Right.
as you can see from the game. So yeah, we tried a bunch of characters, and from showcasing the game at various events, yeah, that was one of the fan favorites. So I guess it went in the game.
That's wonderful. Just kind of like, yeah, we like it. We want to put it in.
Yeah. Ooh, watch out for this
Uh-oh,
turkey right here.
this turkey
Ooh.
does not like you.
No, no. So you
Not
can
a fan
pick
of
stuff
donut.
up and throw them as well. Like, goodbye.
Oh no! Oh, I like how he floats though. So.
Yeah. Some of them don't float.
Oh my goodness. So currently, what is the quest and what is our goal right now? Oh my gosh, so many chickens.
Ooh, these guys are. Ooh. All right. Yeah, so the mission right now is to gather some chicken eggs. So we just got to deal with these guys, and then we can go on ahead right here. So yeah, just gathering this egg right here. So in different maps, we have different missions. And yeah, it's kind of tied to the story a little bit. Oh, all right. Okay.
Uh-oh.
In the water. Hey, bomb girl.
That's so cute.
Oh no, oh no.
So you've got. Oh, did she say you could take some of those bombs?
Yeah, so she's giving us some of the bombs to try them out for research.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, when you're playing co-op, there's a little bit of friendly fire when you do this, so things get a bit hectic when you play 4 players.
Oh, and you've got a nice gun too.
Yes. Yeah, so there
Yeah,
are
we
many different weapons. Yeah, so this is the lollipop that we picked up earlier. Okay, in the water. That solves that problem. Oh, it jumped back up. Anyway. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. So you have up to 4 players that can join you on this journey.
That's right.
Are they able to drop in at any time, or are they, you have to finish and sort of start at the same time?
Yeah, so it's drop in and drop out co-op. You can just basically plug in the controller and A to join the game, or X on your PlayStation 4 controller. So yeah, we really wanted to make this game appeal to family or groups of friends. So the idea is you can play together. If it gets too hot outside in the summertime, you can all, sit down on a couch together and chill out, play a little bit of Riverland.
That's so adorable. Yeah, this world just looks so happy, and it looks like you had 8 other worlds that are all very different. So that's neat to have so much to explore.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, there are different environments. All of the maps are handcrafted, so we definitely want to take people on a journey through all of the different worlds.
That's neat. So what are some of the other enemies that we can potentially encounter? Turkeys for sure.
Yes, turkeys. So these chickens, they're not really enemies, but yeah.
We all know from Zelda, though, they can be very dangerous.
They could be quite dangerous, yeah. So these are crabs, some of the enemies right here. And this is the part of the mission as well. So they're all kind of themed to the world. So since this is a dockyard, kind of beach, a little bit of a pirate theme world, all of the enemies there are based on that. I guess I have to destroy it. There we go.
Sort of the bounce that you get when you hit them is really cute.
Yeah. Yeah, so the boss in this one, as you saw from the menu, now that one is a shark. He's a chef? Shark? Hard to say. Yeah. And we have different fun weapons too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do you have a favorite item or weapon that you got to craft for this game?
Let me see. I do like the upvotes. So upvotes, like the Reddit upvotes, they're like triangles. Yeah. So like they're double upvotes, and you play them a little bit like a dual weapon. So what you do is, I don't think you can get them in this world, but you kind of do that.
That's awesome.
With your upvotes, so yeah. You just poke your enemies to death with Reddit upvotes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's a pretty fun weapon. Yeah, we have many different types of weapons. So this one's a spear, but we have also like a mace or a club, which you kind of slam down. The dual weapons like the Reddit upvotes, and of course the various different kind of blasters like this.
And so do your characters keep them across worlds, or is it central to only the world that you collect them in?
So you start off always in each world with 2 weapons. So right here is the basic sword as well as a blaster. So yeah, you have those as you start off, but then you collect different weapons as you go along. And that doesn't carry through from world to world.
Very cool. And I love, again, like the lighting, kind of the haze that makes it feel like a sunset, warm.
Right.
That's really nice.
Thank you. Yeah, we want to kind of make it, quite chill as well to play. Like nothing too intense. I mean, sometimes it gets quite intense if you're playing 4 players.
Right.
So, yeah, just relaxing music there too.
Yeah.
Cool. So right now I'm gonna look for 2 more crab's nests that we have to destroy.
And hopefully, I really want to see this shark chef.
Ooh, okay, all right.
That would be really cool.
So yeah, I gotta move fast if we want to do that.
Yeah. But no rush. If you want to relax at the beach, that's also cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, here it is. All right.
I was going to say, so platforms. I mean, where are you already on a specific platform?
Yep. So we just released this week where we did a self-launch of E3.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so right now we're out on PS4, Xbox One Game Pass on Xbox as well as PC and Steam.
Very good. Also, congratulations for launching during E3. That's intense.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, thank you. It's crazy, but it's something I guess we wanted to do. Just be a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
you gotta do that sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's super fun, and it's you've already got sort of that quirkiness in the game, so it's like let it out during E3. Why not?
Right. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So where can people find more about the game, like your website, your Twitter or Discord or anything like that?
Yeah, so you can check it out on our website, riverbond.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at CocoCucumberCo, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're CocoCucumber.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And for anyone who wants to see the Shark Chef like I do, you're just going to have to pick up the game because it's out now. That's like the perfect teaser right there. And thank you. I want to show off just this adorable little pig that you gave. That's so... Look at this, so cute. So definitely check out Riverbond, everyone. Thank you again, Vanessa, for dropping in and talking more about your game.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after a quick thank you to our sponsors with another indie, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mix live stream. I'm super excited for this next title. You just saw the trailer for Samurai Gun 2, which is just buck wild. So I've got Adam here and a few extra friends.
Yeah, we made some friends tonight.
Yeah, which is really exciting to show off some of the just action-packed gameplay. So while we're getting ready and everyone's selecting their characters, I think this is the perfect time. We were talking a little bit about lore and sort of about the game.
All this art's by Valentin Sesh. He's an amazing French comic artist, one of our dear friends. He's bringing a ton to this project. The illustrations, he's been working on a graphic novel for 4 years based on the first game that with Piao Studios. You'll be able to play it if you buy the game. It's going to come with the game and also
That's
come
cool.
out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's really neat to kind of have that extra sort of support for the artist in there, and recognition for the artist. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this will look familiar to anyone who played the original Samurai Gun.
Yeah.
But for those who maybe don't know what the gameplay is like, could you explain in a nutshell what we're seeing?
Yeah, so this is super fast-paced versus game. So this is the versus mode. You have everything dies in one hit. You have a sword and a gun. Your gun has 3 bullets per life. You can use your sword to knock bullets back and forth. Maybe we can... Here we go.
There we go.
I knocked one back. And then the new core mechanic to the sequel is you have a dash move. So here I'm this like golem guy, this silver guy in the middle. You can dash in 8 directions, and it uses a bullet. The lore is that like the character eats the bullet, and that launches them forward.
Oh no!
We got JT back behind the camera joining in. Wait, who won? Did you win?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not fair.
It's because he's not wearing pants.
Oh wow.
So yeah, this like I said, this is the versus mode. This is very very similar to the first game, but we are also working on a full adventure mode where you can play co-op with your friends, all kinds of enemies and bosses, a really cool story. We haven't showed. There's a little bit in the trailer, but other than that, we haven't showed any yet. We're working really hard on that. We'll do like a big reveal.
That's exciting.
When it's ready.
So can you, any hints on what the story may be about? Like, will it be through the eyes of different characters, or will there be one story that they all can kind of...
there's one story that kind of a lot of them get roped into.
Yeah.
And then when you play co-op, you get to play as 4 of the characters. They're all from the versus mode. But then like one of the characters is kind of the antagonist. There's some secrets. And then they're all in the graphic novel too, and they come together in really cool ways.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Who was
job.
that?
Is that you?
Yep. He's behind the camera, just ready.
I need to win one.
You got this, man.
Oh my goodness.
So one of the cool things with these characters, you'll notice like the way Valentin drew it, they all kind of have different guns. Like there's the gun hidden in the arm. They all kind of hold the gun in different ways.
Yeah.
It's like a nice touch. I like this character that looks like a demon. That I thought was a demon, and then Valentin decided, no, that's a demon mask. So we gave him like full reign. Like Bo gave him the pixel art and kind of one-line descriptions, and then he's like an amazing storyteller. It's like, hey, create this world, like go as deep as you want, like.
Wow.
And he did such an amazing job, and so now we incorporated a lot of that into the sequel.
That's really neat. It was almost a surprise for you as
It's
you were
amazing.
getting those designs back.
Yeah, he's our favorite comic artist. We just love his work so much. So it was this cool thing of like getting to see what your game is about. Like, oh, that's what it is? Amazing, yes.
Yeah, oh great. Glad to hear it. That's really neat. So, and I saw all of the different environments that you can pick from. So what are some of the different challenges that each level will provide players?
Yeah, so this is something, so Bo, he created the first game. He's the director, the lead game designer. This is kind of a lot of his philosophy about video games are wrapped up into this. So one of his things is like everything that looks different should act differently, because that lets you you visually can understand what things are very quickly and make quick decisions. So all the different areas do have different attributes. So there's a graveyard that has like it's like sticky goo that you can stick to upside down. Hopefully that'll load up and we can try that out.
Yeah.
You know, the bamboo, you can cut through it, and sometimes it regrows. At this level it doesn't, but there's bamboo that regrows.
Oh, that's cool.
The snow levels have like icy areas that you can't attach to and you'll slide down. We still have a lot of areas though that they haven't shown yet.
Nice.
Wait, who was it?
Oh, showdown.
Who's in the showdown?
Oh, boy. I'm rushing, dude. Let's do this.
Okay, so showdown is if you were one away from winning, but you didn't win, you go to the showdown. No bullets.
Just
The first
sword.
kill wins.
Oh, and the moon is set, like, is there a certain time limit maybe, or?
Well, once the moon completely sets, it just goes dark.
Oh, gosh.
And there's different showdowns, too. This is the one we're showing in the demo. But
That's cool. Nice.
there's actually a secret showdown. If in the showdown you both kill each other at the same time, you go to a deeper, tinier secret showdown.
Wow.
Spoilers.
Yeah, now everyone playing it is going to
Yeah.
try and, like, get to that. Cool. So how was it? Because you worked on the first samurai gun.
I didn't. So the
You did?
first game was just Bo, and then Dos One did all the music. This game was kind of Bo putting together like a dream team. So like we talked about Valentin doing all the art and illustration. Nelson Bowles is doing all the animation. He's this incredible animator, animation director. He was a showrunner at Cartoon Network on Clarence. Also worked on her on some of the special effects scenes. He's incredible. So he's actually redoing. He did some of, you'll see like some of these blood effects, some of the spark effects he did, but we are, there's co-op. So the adventure mode's co-op. You can play with like up to 4 friends, go through the whole story together, or you can play 1 player, 2 or 3. We're just super excited to be working on this together, and we're just taking the time to do it right. It was actually supposed to be out already. It's not even close.
It's okay. Take your time. Make the best game possible. Is there an estimated release date for it, though?
More than a year. I don't know. It's definitely when it's done. Probably more than a year.
Right. It's done when it's done.
Yeah.
It'll
Well,
happen.
we could have released it by now, but we were so happy with where it was going. We're like, let's just take the time and really make this what we want it to be.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can really, argue with that. That's awesome.
Oh, the water. You asked about things. So the water.
Yes.
If you go in the water, your gun gets jammed and it doesn't work. So here.
No, so it jams the gun up, basically.
Yeah. So here you can see the red character. And just once you land in it, just shoot out water.
Oh no. You can't just, in this one you've got to plan a little bit. You can't run willy-nilly.
Yeah. It's fun because it's a hazard, but it's not going to kill you. But it changes how you play, right? You're like, well, I'm going to try not to go down there. And then you can take advantage of that. Be like, I know they're not going to want to go down there. So
So if you feel really confident about your platforming skills, you can sort of get them from below.
Yeah, I can show you something too. I can show you like high-level play begins with this thing we call the sword jump. So if you look at the red character, if I can not die. So normally you can only jump this high, but your sword actually gives you momentum in any direction. So if I slash up while I'm jumping, see I can jump like a whole way across the screen. And then you can do it off walls. You can do it. So it's this thing of like it's actually easy to do. It unlocks like a whole new way to play, which is cool because you can do it in the single player, in the adventure mode. You can just launch yourself completely across the screen, which was like a real design challenge. Like, how do you make something challenging where the player can literally just fly over every enemy if they know what they're doing?
Right.
But I think we've come up with some cool answers to that. Yet to be revealed.
That's so neat. Oh, another
Oh,
showdown.
another one.
Okay, here we go.
Am I in it? Oh, no, I'm not in it. I haven't won one yet.
It's okay. You've been talking, so it's like really hard to multitask.
That's my excuse.
Yep.
Yeah, you're selling the game, man. No, this game is amazing. It's so much fun.
Thank you. I'm glad we got like a crew here to come play the game with me.
That's awesome.
Thanks for coming by.
Oh, no worries. I can tell you, this is the second time I played it. I played it at GDC, and man, it is a blast. Like, even like I can't wait till it comes out on Switch. This is going to be a day one buy for me, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, are you confirmed for Switch, and what
Yes.
other platforms are you hoping?
Switch and PC we've announced. Nintendo is really awesome. They showed our reveal trailer in the fall.
Yep.
You'll be able to read the comic on the Switch, kind of like an iPad. Like we're building a little comic reader with touch controls. Also, I read a lot of digital comics, and so so this is like a little thing, but maybe people who read comics can appreciate it. I don't like having to hold the iPad in bed. Like, my arms get cramped for an hour. So what you can do is like you can actually control it all with one Joy-Con. So you can just like get comfortable.
That's nice.
You can like set your Switch against your wall and just be super lazy and read the whole thing.
No, I've done that where I'm holding the iPad and just kind of like falling asleep. It drops on your
Smacks
face.
you in the face. Like your arm cramps up. You don't have to worry about that.
I think there's one more showdown. I think someone was 1 kill away.
Oh, perfect. All right, it's like the final showdown. And you said were you playing
There
the
it
Golem
is.
character? No.
Yeah. Well, someone else picked it.
Okay, but you were the voice.
I did the voice for the golem. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Clutch.
I think that's the perfect way. Yeah, the perfect ending, a good showdown. Thank you so much for joining. For everyone who's joining and playing on the stream, this looks really great. Again, no official release date, but where can they find you online to keep track?
Technopants is Bo's Twitter, or Double Fine. Double Fine's publishing, so Double Fine Presents is we can get all the information there.
Awesome. All right, so thanks again for showing us Samurai Gun 2. Thanks to everyone who participated, and we'll be right back in just a second after taking a look and thanking our sponsors with yet another indie game. So we'll see you in a bit. Hey everyone, welcome back to the mix. I'm so excited here with our final game and two of the devs that have been working on it. We just saw the trailer, and I'd love for you to just tell me a little bit about who you are, what you worked on the game, and just kind of why is this kid in space by himself?
So I'm Steve Copeland, programmer, designer. This is Will Roger, composer. And the game was also built by Jeff Stewart, our artist, and my business partner, and he's at home right now. The game is basically, well, it's called Anew, the Distant Light. It's an action exploration game. So basically you've got a lot of cool places to visit, a lot of crazy vehicles and toys to play with, but fundamentally it's a mystery. So you basically start out as a baby, launched through space, you land on an alien moon, and you were raised basically inside of a sleep chamber.
Right, yeah.
Kind of Matrix style. Everything you know is learned from this computer, so your character doesn't know who they are, why they're there, what it means to be human even. They don't, and it's part of the challenge for you as the player to help this character you figure out what's going on in this game world.
Yeah, it's super. I mean, the music is eerie, the mood, everything is just really eerie. What inspired like sort of this feel?
Well,
I guess, and are we going to see this kind of eeriness in all of the planets that we explore, or is there a little bit relaxing?
Yeah, I mean, we try to make everything a little bit creepy. It's sort of a Kubrick's-inspired storyline.
Yeah.
And, well, that's loud. And basically, you've got...
Oh, wow.
This is kind of tricky. Oh, he's got it. So yeah, the gameplay is pretty deep. All the weapons have sort of a utility aspect to them, and there's a pretty high skill cap. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's difficult, just that there's lots of room for you to show off if you're a skillful player.
Yeah. I like that sort of alien chicken that we just encountered.
But yeah, mood-wise, we feel like it's kind of something that fits really well with the genre, sort of that lonely, mysterious setting. We kind of really play that up with how we tell the story. There's actually no dialogue, no text, just a lot of environmental storytelling.
Oh, okay.
And most of the cutscenes are live, so you play while the cutscene's going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Player basically never loses agency. And we think it's a cool way to tell stories, and also, you know, if you're a speedrunner and you just don't care about the story, you can basically ignore it.
That's really neat. You know, that's nice that speedrunners and you're kind of thinking about how people will approach this game.
Absolutely.
What are you hoping people, when they play, is there something you really hope that they get out of the game or that they experience?
Well, absolutely. I want everybody, at least, so right now the game is only in demo format. We're approaching our open beta, we're approaching our open beta, but in the demo, there is a certain amount of challenge to the game, but it's a fair challenge, and we just really hope you'll get used to it, observe carefully, and push through, and you have a really satisfying feeling of mastery. And it's not about memorizing the levels or anything like that, because it's not really a level-based game. It's an open-world game. So if you experience that mastery of your weapons, your moves, your abilities, it's just very satisfying, even if there is a bit of a challenge to it.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I mean, there was this beautiful moment where you're falling through the cavern and there's these sort of aquatic creatures that you see. And so even amidst the challenge, there are those moments that you can just sort of sit back and be like, wow, like this is a really beautiful world I'm experiencing.
Absolutely. I think pacing is super important in games, and not just for the action of the game to give you a moment to have a breather, but you know, if you pick up a new toy, you want to have some breathing room to figure out how you want to use it,
right?
And a little opportunity for you to have that epiphany about what other part of the game world this new weapon or ability is going to unlock.
Right.
Sort of a key aspect of the genre. So in this demo, we've got wormholes that jump you from point to point around the open game world in order to just show you a lot of stuff fast. Normally all these toys, like your equipment, are not just going to be sitting out there on the shelf. You're going to have to
earn it.
Exactly. Makes it feel more satisfying when you earn it.
So, Will, I know you're playing, so I don't want to distract you too much because definitely it looks like, darn it.
Look what you just did.
Look what you did.
The worst timing ever. I apologize. But the music, I mean, there's this really sort of cinematic feel to the music, and I was wondering if you talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. The music is inspired kind of by two things at the same time. One is very classic cinema, and we're talking like, 1960s Planet of the Apes, Jerry Goldsmith, very old style of scoring that's very classical influence, and then also a lot of avant-garde orchestral music. Stuff like Bartók and Debussy, Ratavarya, and John Adams are some of my big influences, in addition to a lot of nice Moog 1960s synthesizer kind of stuff. Both Jeff Spoonhauer and I, Jeff being the artist, are huge fans of both of those styles. And one of the things that appealed to me about this project was that they were looking for a sound that's very different, pretty much from any other game that I'd played. And that's just really attractive to me, because I work on AAA games as well. I just did Mortal Kombat 11 and Call of Duty World War II. And I loved working on those scores as well, but this one is just so weird.
Well, especially, I mean, in that first area that we were in, you really got that sense, that sort of quirkiness and weirdness in the music. And so neat to see in the different worlds how it changes.
Yeah, and in this level especially, it's really becoming apparent to the gamer that they have a civilization. This is already an advanced society, but you just don't quite understand it. They have their technology, but it's something that's kind of just outside of the comprehension of a human. And I wanted to convey that feeling with the music. So I wanted something that sounds like it's internally consistent and makes sense, but is just so foreign and bizarre that it gives you that feeling of almost reverence, where you don't quite understand it, but it has that feel to it.
Sure. So it looks like we encounter a lot of hostile creatures and hostile beings on these areas. Are there any places that we encounter friendly aliens or creatures?
Right. So this is probably about a point, maybe 10 hours into the game ordinarily. So you're invading one of their strongholds, but there are places in the game where you meet other sort of indigenous species and creatures. Some of them, I'm trying to walk the line. Jeff doesn't want me to spoil too much.
Right, of course.
But basically, there are definitely friendly creatures and allies that have a very interesting civilization for you to kind of try to make sense of, and maybe help them out.
Yeah.
Maybe they help you out.
Well, and what's interesting is at the end, or near the end of the trailer, there's a moment where you see this character. He's walking through sort of a nursery, so you know that there's sort of this mystery that he's trying to figure out, in addition to, I think, saving his planet and his people. So that's...
So yeah, just another one of our crazy vehicles. Yeah, each one of these is basically designed to feel like you could have a whole game built around just that vehicle. It's an entirely separate character to learn and to master.
Oh no. Oh yeah, this looks like a lot of fun right here. So is there a number that you can put on sort of how many vehicles there are available?
11.
11, nice. Very scientific number.
About 8-ish, 10-ish, something like that. But they have got really deep gameplay around them.
Right.
So and they're upgradable, and there's lots of things to master related to them. And moving them, again, it is an open world game. So bringing these vehicles to different contexts of the game once you acquire them is pretty important. Whoa. You got wrecked, man.
So let's see. Are you currently still in development, or is this game going to be out soon?
It is in alpha right now, and we're sharing this trade show demo with our backers, and soon it'll be in a beta test that we'll be sharing. And we intend to be out on PC and pretty much all consoles if everything goes well.
That's awesome. And for anyone interested in maybe jumping into that beta, is there an opportunity for them? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, they can go to thedistantlight.com, and you can find links to our Twitter. It's a new game, and Facebook is the same handle. But at thedistantlight.com, you can find our new Discord channel.
Awesome.
And basically hook up with us there and get involved. And we love interacting with everybody who likes this type of game, and you could help out with development if you want to get involved enough.
That's awesome. So yeah, definitely check out the game, A New Distant Light. If you want to help out and get involved in the development, in the beta, please go and check out their website. And thank you so much for joining us on the Mix stream. I hope you have a wonderful rest of E3.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be back in just a minute with Justin from the Mix. But before that, we would like to thank our sponsors once again. So please check them out, support them, because they're supporting us and allowing us to share these games with you. And we'll be back in a second.
Hi, Christina.
I thought he was telling you to sit right there. I was like, oh my God, that's cold.
I don't have any back support in this bitch. Sorry. I don't have any back support in this piece. They'll love it. You know what I mean? This is real life.
We are back. We don't have back support, but we do have Justin here, head honcho, big man on campus at the Mix. How has your night been going?
It's been great. We were at a new venue last year. We were at 1010 Wilshire, which was like an rooftop space.
Mm-hmm.
We're at Convene. It's super dope. We have 61 games. Amazing press. The stream right here is amazing. We have like folks from Nintendo. It's I mean, more than I could have dreamed for.
Yeah, it's been an awesome night. I'm super excited to be able to wander around it a little bit and see everything. I mean, literally, it's a circle with like just a circle of games. You can just walk around forever, and there's just games for forever. It's
there's
wonderful.
there's a VR. There's an area we have Space Channel 5, the VR, which is so sick.
Cool.
Yeah, like just such amazing games in every corner of this venue, and there's just industry professionals here and press, as you guys may know, if you guys have looked at these the other streams.
Right.
And thank you so much for
always
hosting.
happy to be here.
And,
a big fan.
Yeah.
Love
I
what
mean,
the mix does.
It's such a great show. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in, who's checked us out. Jenny for hosting, and more things to come. We want to do more streams. We have more events. We have Gamescom coming. We officially are going to be announcing Gamescom. We have PAX West again, and we have EVO. Hopefully we'll work with these guys on the stream for EVO, and so things are just keep moving forword.
Right. And you were just at Bit Summit as well just the other week. So, I mean, you've been traveling and just not Bit Summit. The mix is everywhere, it seems like. It's really cool.
Last week, I got back on Thursday, but the week prior we were in Kyoto, so Bit Summit, which is amazing. Like, shout out to John Davis and the Bit Summit crew. It's so awesome. Like, I think they had 100 games for 2 nights. But we did the premiere press event the first night of the show, which was great because I mean, come on, I'm a nerd. You know what I mean? Like, I love Japan, and so just being there, and I was there before, but just being a part of that, being a part of the indie culture, and helping these developers get visibility and reach their potential for, getting a new audience and possibly getting a publisher or a deal or something like that. It's something that's very instrumental in the developer cycle as they evolve in their progress. So
and that's what I love. I mean, E3, people know this event as sort of the AAA event. E3 is you've got Nintendo and all of that, but what's really exciting is when you have something like the mix that brings indie developers to an event like E3 and allows them the opportunity to not only attend that event, but have a place to show their game of their own.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about it, too, is I think press, they're saturated with the huge AAA, which, come on, we can't survive without the AAA, but they want to see some new, fresh content. And when they are able to come to the mix, they know that they're going to see something that they haven't seen before. You know what I mean? And they're going to see something that has like an individual art, a concept behind it, and just people that are passionate about it. I mean, we got people from Argentina, people from Sweden, people from the Nordic folks and stuff like that. So like all around the world, people are coming to number one E3. Or I should say number one mix. But we got people coming to the mix, but then also like they're able to experience like E3 and like the culture of the West Coast.
Yeah, the best coast.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been really neat. I mean, and people who have been watching have seen just 10 of the games, but like you said, there are 60-plus games here, and so we really only just scratched the surface, which is really exciting. And also, I'm like, I wish we could do a however long it would take stream to show all of the games.
Every game. That would be super sick.
Yeah.
I got a shout out to the team. We got Travis right here. Like, we had every time we do a show, there's always like a blunder where like this particular one, we didn't have as many power supplies as possible. So Travis pulled through and our team pulled through to go to like random areas to get all the power supplies we needed for all the the monitors on time. So we had like 2 hours to go, and it's like it ended up being a seamless situation. And that's kind of what we deal with when we're putting on events. It's like there's always something going to go wrong. I mean, it's if you're an indie developer, you kind of know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know that there's going to be something that happens that kind of screws up the like your timeline, that kind of thing. So we're kind of built for this, But our team is great, and we're really here to support the developers.
Yeah.
To make sure that they can, like I said before, I want to keep pushing the agenda, but you know what I mean?
But indie games.
Yes,
But
indie games. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and what's really cool, I mean, you do a lot to support indie developers and people who love indie games by, exposing them to all of these titles that they might not have been able to see before. What are some ways that people can support the mix?
We have a merch store up, so with
showing off the sweet merch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm repping this because I love repping it, and it's pretty dope, regardless. But if you do support, I mean, working with us by purchasing some of the gear that we have on the merch store. It's just mixmerch.com? No. Oh, it is.
There we go.
I didn't even know that.
Right
You know what I'm saying?
here.
I was running around. Anyway. Get some mixed merch. I mean, we have these dope shirts. They're really clean. We've been working with some amazing designers on them.
Yeah.
Every time, the cool thing that we do though, every time is we'll have a new design up. But every time that we have an event, we have a new artist create the logo in their own specific way. So this particular event, if you go to the Media Indie Exchange in Los Angeles event. Right, the E3 event, you'll see that Toby put together this really crazy version of the controller, right, the joystick, and our mascot. And he previously worked on Nidhogg 2, and he's working on Atomic Crops 2. We previously had David Hellman, who worked on Braid, and he did some of the art. So we want to support indie artists as well, and so we have these limited edition shirts. This one is our what is it called? Just our neutral mixed logo type
classic
style and whatnot. We work with Fam Gamer on that, but I mean that's one way to support us. Just follow us and check out our Twitch page and that kind of thing. Look at how cute he is. He's all sexy. No, but yeah, just check out. Yeah, just get some merch. Follow us. We'll have more things to come as far as ways to support us. We're still figuring out whether we want to do a Patreon. We may do more. We want to do way more streams. That's the biggest thing. But, yeah.
That's so exciting, and I mean, it looks like you're on the right track. You're attending all of the events. We're doing streams like this already. You've got the merch. It's just full sail ahead, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to be doing also more public events. So if you guys are interested in that, PAX is the way to go. If you're at PAX West, that is open to the public.
Yeah.
We want to do more of those type of things.
That's really exciting because, I remember my very first PAX. One of the first night, actually, that I was at PAX, a mix event was happening, and it was the first time I had gotten to see all of these indie games in one place. And, I mean, ever since then, I've been following the mix ever since then. So, here we go. Yeah. Cool. So, definitely follow the mix on Twitter at Indie Exchange. I think on Instagram it's at Media Indie Exchange. And if you're already watching this, to follow us on Twitch. So, there's that, too.
For sure. You should shout yourself out, too.
Oh, I mean, yep. So if you didn't know me already, I'm Jenny. I'm at Kimchika25 on Twitter. I also have a Twitch at /Kimchika, so definitely check me out. I pretty much focus only on indie games, and I actually work for a studio called Rose City Games, which is pretty cool. I do the community development there, and we're working on a game called Cat Lady, which I'm very excited about. Just here too. Yeah, it's literally, I keep telling people, but I'm still not over it, where it's my job now is cat puns and cat gifts. And I am so cool with that. It's all research now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess, did you want to do one more shout out to our sponsors? Let them know. I don't know if there's anything else we need to say.
I don't know. I just want to thank everybody for showing up. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, then I think we're ready to call this a night. I am excited because I'm going to go play some more indie games and discover the rest of the titles that we've got on the show floor. And hopefully we'll see you all at another mix stream soon.
Deuces.
Bye.